Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Friday, November 24th, 2023, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $, ORION NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the number 16 Oregon State Beavers versus the number 6 Oregon Ducks. Kickoff in about 15 minutes. We just have to wait for Iowa and Seton Hall for college hoops to wrap up. Iowa's up 77-70 with about a minute 30 to go. I am freaking ready. The last time that we possibly will see the Ducks and the Beavers play against each other in somehow, some way in the future, if we can rekindle, the rivalry down the road, since we're going to the Big Ten with USC, with UCLA, and with the Washington Huskies. Oregon State and Washington State are still left there in the Pac-2. I don't know what's going to happen with them. I would really hope at one point that the Big Ten would consider the Washington State Cougars and the Oregon State Beavers. I think they're good enough to join the conference, but according to them, they don't pull up enough money as far as maybe the TV ratings and a boost there, but maybe they'll change their mind as we get further along after the season ends. But I am ready, man. Civil War, Beavers, Ducks. We lost last year when Bo Nix ended up having an injury to his leg. He had to go out. We had to put the backup in, and we ended up losing that game. So obviously in the locker room and all week long, that fourth quarter was played on repeat. And I know that we're going to end up having a very competitive game. I would not be shocked if the Beavers at some point in this game take the lead or are maybe up at halftime. But I know that we're going to end up making the proper adjustments in the second half, and we will be able to get the job done. And one special thing that gives us an advantage pretty much over anything that the Beavers have for motivation, right here, this guy, Spencer Spider Webb. All right, this guy died in an accidental death, a few years back, and, very, very close with a lot of the Ducks players. And the uniform combo is based off him, and it's a tribute to him and his life. So I know that we're going to come out there and we are going to win it for Spencer Spider Webb. Let's go, baby. And you already know what it is. We got DJU on the left, and we got Bo Nix on the right, the Heisman hopeful. And we know Jaden Daniels is up there as well from LSU. It'll be one of the two of them, most likely, unless Michael Penix Jr. starts to light it up late. But I'm really going to soak in these memories that we have with Bo Nix. When he came in from Auburn, I'll be very honest, I wasn't really that thrilled. I knew that he would be, a decent starter, but in no way, no how did I ever think that he would be on the same kind of level as like a Joey Harrington or like a Justin Herbert or maybe like a Marcus Mariota, who ended up winning the Heisman for us. But he definitely has surpassed the expectations. And if we have any chance to win this game, all right, the Civil War, to play Washington, if they win their game on the Apple Cup versus the Washington State Cougars, and then we end up playing the Huskies at the Pac-12 championship, I truly believe we will get payback. We will get revenge. We will be able to win that. And then I assume we'll get Georgia, Michigan, Oregon, and then if Ohio State loses, I would assume they'll drop just one spot and they'll be number 4. At least that's the way that I want it. And then hopefully we play Michigan, in the first round. Ohio State will play Georgia, and then we'll end up playing Georgia in the Natty. And it'll either be Georgia winning 3 straight or the Oregon Ducks winning their very first Natty of all time. Let's go, baby. I am ready. I am locked. I am loaded. Let's go. Prepare for an electric game. And let's also make sure that we're getting the proper love, for the Beavers as well. There's one guy on their team that is a superstar, and it's, not even close. And you could argue with this particular running back, we got Bucky Irving, we had Noah Whittington, right? And obviously, we got a few guys. James is coming in, and he's doing a pretty good job there at third string, stepping in for Noah Whittington there for second string. But I'll tell you what, this guy plays like an Oregon Duck back. And if I had one thing that I would be uber proud of besides DJU, it's this guy right here. If there's any chance the Beavers are going to win this game, This guy right here, Damian Martinez. He's a sophomore. He has the ability to score 1 through 5 touchdowns in a game, okay? So if this guy ends up scoring for 3 or 4 tutties, there's a chance the Ducks could lose. But what are the chances of that happening? I'm not sure that high. I think that he could score once or twice, maybe as many as 3 times, but I still think that we're going to get enough on the defensive side of the ball that we're going to be able to contain him. Will you be able to stop him? No, but you should be able to contain him. So if you're a Beaver fan, or if you're a Duck fan, or just a neutral fan watching this, look out for number 6 on the Beavs. He did very, very well against the Huskies. They've only lost 3 games all year. Washington State, Arizona, Washington, only by 3 points each. So a total of 9 points. This team is undefeated. Now, we already know DJU has been a pretty good quarterback for the Beavers, but they don't have the same kind of wide receiving core as the Ducks. We have a better running back room, but you could argue Martinez is just as good as Bucky Irving, maybe slightly better. Bucky is kind of a shorter, stockier, shiftier back who kind of looks small but plays bigger than his size, right? And then with Damian Martinez, he's just a horse. You know, he is just, a wrecking ball. And, when they hand the ball off to him, he might have 2, 3, 4, 5 guys on him. So I'm going to be looking out for him. But I definitely think Spencer Spiderweb, we're doing the tribute to you. And I think there's a very, very good chance that we get the dub. And I'm hoping that the magical season will continue and we win the Civil War today. We play the Huskies after they beat the Cougars tomorrow in the Apple Cup. We play them in the Pac-12 championship in Vegas. We win that game. We play Michigan or Ohio State. We beat them. We play Georgia. We beat them. And then we end up winning the Natty. And normally I wouldn't think that we would be good enough to do this, but there's only 2 teams, right, in Division I. Over 100 Division I teams. There's only 2 that are top 10 offense, top 10 defense. The first one is no surprise. It's the Georgia Bulldogs, and they won the Natty the last 2 years in a row. The second team will surprise you. The only other team that has a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense, it is my Oregon Ducks. So there is always a possibility if you have a good O and a good D that you can make things happen. And I'm very, very excited about the possibility of us going a little bit above and beyond and representing the state of Oregon in the biggest way possible, doing the unthinkable. Hell, most people probably think Michigan and Ohio State, even though it seems a little bit more even this year, it's not a guarantee that Alabama or Georgia for sure 100% is winning the Natty. And I feel within the last 5 or 6 years, that's what it was. Alabama, 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 Georgia, Georgia. And you knew as good as Michigan or Ohio State was, or any other rando team coming up like a TCU, regardless if they're undefeated or not, you knew they had 0% chance. Now, could Michigan or Ohio State hang on and keep up with Georgia or Alabama for a half? Yes. But once the second half hit, the game was over. Sometimes in the Natties, it was a blowout from the first quarter. So I'm hoping that now with Georgia not being as good, even though they won 2 Natties back-to-back, this year they're not as good, right? They're really, really good, but they're not like the overwhelming favorite. People believe, even experts, pundits, including me, I really do feel that this could be the year that you can have the Oregon Ducks, the Washington Huskies, the Michigan Wolverines, the Ohio State Buckeyes. There is a chance that maybe SEC, doesn't win the championship, and how cool would that be? So I am ready to go. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Ducks. And hey, they do the SCO Ducks for Go Ducks, but for me, it's just Go Ducks, all right? They got SCO Ducks is kind of like for the young people. Go Ducks, that's just us, the OGs. But I am ready to go. Let's see what keys to the game for me and Matt. Matt is a hardcore Duck fan in Hawaii, and he's got all the whole strategy broken down for us. Stop Damian Martinez and Deshaun Fenwick. Both those running backs are quite good. They have to stop the explosive plays off the running game into play action passes. I 100% agree. Stop DJU's playmaking ability, wear down the OSU line, and get them to create havoc and pressure. Let's go. Run the football, unleash Bucky Irving a lot in this game, as well as Jordan James. All right, win up front on both sides of the ball, stun Oregon State's defense and O-line, and arguably we have the best offensive line in the country with one other team, the Georgia Bulldogs. That's why I kind of feel the trajectory for Georgia and Oregon is very high. Now, Oregon could fuck up and slip up and lose this game or lose the Pac-12 championship, but sometimes you feel a team is made for destiny, and I feel in 2023, as we're going into 2024, maybe this is our year. Go to your outside zone reads and your inside zone reads, your zone read, run sweeps, power reads. You can open up the RPO game a lot with the slants and the bubble screens, the smoke screens, the flat routes or the quick routes. You can tell me and Matt know what is the strategy today. Hey, O-line better run and pass efficiently every single time. You already know what it is. The defense, we got to stop Oregon State on their third and shorts and their 3rd and 4 to 6 yards. They are dominant when it comes to short yardage. Plus, when you got Damian Martinez, the guy can get you 9 yards on first down. You know, there's not many running backs that can give you 6, 7, 8, 9 yards on their first carry. And unfortunately for us, Damian Martinez on the Beavers has that ability. And don't be surprised if he drags 1, 2, 3, 4 Duck players before he goes down. I will give mad love and respect. I actually kind of wish Damian Martinez was an Oregon Duck. You know what I mean? But I got to give love to the Beavers. They got themselves a cornerstone gem. And I don't know how long Damian Martinez is going to stay in college, but I think based on what I've seen in his freshman year last year, his sophomore year this year, depending if he stays until he's a junior or senior, he could end up being a 1st or 2nd round back and legitimately pan out in the NFL. I really, really love him. Sarah in the building. Let's get to 100 and donos. Let's go, baby. Let's go. No worries. No worries. The game starts at 5:30, so we're a little bit early. I'm ready to go, and hopefully we can have some people come through and show some love to make up for yesterday. Let's go, baby. Let's go. And the thumbnail took me fucking forever, and I did look at like 40 images. Initially, I wanted to do Bo Nix in the green uniform because that's the last uniform that we're wearing, obviously, before we go to the Pac-12 championship if we win this game, right? And then I wanted to either use DJU or Damian Martinez. Gosh, man, Damian Martinez, there's not a lot of options for him to be able to format, but you know, hopefully as we move on into next year, if he's still there, I'll be able to have that opportunity. But it took me about an hour and a half, you know, to get it done, and I didn't want to use the Bo Nix image that I used from the USC game. So this one took a lot of effort. You know, normally with my thumbs, it'll take me about an hour. This one was about an hour and a half, but I think it turned out great. We got DJU on the left. We got Bo Nix on the right, and I am ready to go. Ducks, Beavers, the Civil War, kickoff momentarily. Let's fucking go. And we'll definitely give the Beavers plenty of love. I'll throw up plenty of photos of DJU, Damian Martinez, or any of their studs, but we already know what it is. It's go Ducks all day, every day. And you already know I'm the biggest Duck fan on planet Earth. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Oh, baby, I am ready. Good breakdown and analysis. And then hopefully one day, Matt, you know, you get yourself some good internet connection in Hawaii, right? You end up getting, maybe a microphone and you get things set up. And maybe you'll be able to hop on and we can end up calling the Duck game and reacting to the Duck game together one day. And obviously, I wouldn't have just anybody hop on. You have to obviously have the right equipment and the right internet speed, but it also has to be someone that has that same kind of passion and love for the thing that I'm doing at the moment, like this Oregon Duck matchup. And I wanted to be able to wear my green, green apple gear, which I typically wear when I go walk with Paisley. I got a green apple hoodie. I got a green apple pants that the actual players wear on the sideline, like sweats. They're amazing. I got Justin Herbert green apple jerseys. I got green apple everything. But as you know, when you're using a green screen, anything that you wear, typically green or yellow, you disappear, and I would just be a floating head. So unfortunately, I'm not able to rock, those particular pieces of gear. I can always take a picture and use that as like a promotional post. But if I'm going to be using the green screen background and see that beautiful Autzen Stadium, we got to be able to use this, baby. Let's go. Yes, that was one of the ugliest games, and I'll be honest, I couldn't watch all of that game. You know, they ended up winning 13-10. Your offense stinks. Their offense stinks. But at least you got the field goal at the very, very end. Your defense is good, but golly, for a team that normally is in the top 25, I don't know how you do it. That offense is some shit. And I know they've been some shit for a couple years. Last year they were terrible too. So hopefully, whoever they bring in, that can actually spark the offense. They have to get a quarterback that's one of the top 25 quarterbacks in the country. And then you got to be able to get running backs, wide receivers. They're usually pretty good recruiting the tight ends with Sam Laporta and company. O-line typically pretty good, defense amazing, but you got to be able to get some skill position players because, golly, sitting through a four-quarter game that's sitting at like 10-10, that's not a whole lot of offense. And I get it. If it's one thing if they have like the best defense in the country, and then they're really, smacking teams around. But I don't blame you. I mean, I know you're an Iowa fan, but you're like, man, I don't even know if I can complete this game. And I'm an Iowa Hawkeye fan. So you have to spend some time with family, go to the mall, and hopefully, Iowa will be able to step up their offensive game. But at least you won. Could you imagine if you would have lost in Nebraska? That would have not been a very good look for your guys' team overall at the end of the season. So, yes. Well, you've had injuries, right? But let's be honest. Even with all the guys that got hurt, how many points do you honestly think that you would have been able to put up today, even if those guys didn't get hurt? 20? You know what I mean? It's not like they're going to be putting up 40 or 50 or 60. It's not like a duck offense or like Georgia or something like that. But I'm happy that you won. And, obviously, anytime you can win against a rival or a team that you play towards the end of the season is always good. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's get this dub for Spencer Spiderweb. Let's go. Let's go, baby. And this is going to be for you. He ended up dying accidentally, climbing a rock face, climbing up a mountain and, doing a lot of that mountain climbing and whatnot. And he slipped, hit his head, and he's in heaven now. And they did a whole uniform design with the spider web and then his number and everything. So it's going to be very, very cool to be able to see what kind of extra motivation the Ducks can pull out from Spencer Spiderweb. Very, very cool. Let's go. I ended up having 2 plates when I had the dinner. I took 3 plates home. I ate one last night. I ate one for lunch, and I got one last plate left with a couple pieces of pumpkin pie after hopefully we end up getting this dub and we get this win. Let's go, baby. We got the orange, neon, shiny helmet for the Beavs, and they got all orange, and we got the green and the whites. I am ready to go. Let's go, baby. And hopefully we can get some support as well. And, some of the streams have done pretty good for us when we do Ducks. When we ended up doing the Ducks in USC, over 2,600. They usually are typically hitting, I would say, 400 to about 3,000. So I don't know how many people, are going to come through in the streams, but this is the best game all day. There's no game that competes to this on the NHL, on the NBA, or on the college football scene. And then obviously tomorrow we got a game kind of like this with more on the line with Michigan and Ohio State. I will wake up at 7 a.m., take Paisley for an hour walk, and I will watch that game. And then we'll end up doing the WWE pay-per-view in the evening. And I know the Huskies and the Cougs play in the Apple Cup, but more than likely we'll probably just do one stream tomorrow, possibly 2, but we will see. I don't know. So far on the schedule, it doesn't look like it. Plus, we have to figure out where Oregon State and Washington State is going to fall. So I would assume, if we can continue this Civil War, it probably won't be for a few years if they decide to line it up. Same thing with Washington and Washington State. Maybe they'll be able to keep their rivalry going and whatnot. But I feel with the Apple Cup and the Civil War, this is something that never goes away. I don't care, if they're in the MAC, the WAC, the ACC, the Big 12. I don't care where Oregon and obviously Oregon State, wherever Oregon State and the Cougars fall. I want the rivalry to be, reunited and re-blossomed and reignited because I don't want to go with doing this for over 100 years and being like the rivalry game. And then now, what's the rivalry game? Washington, USC, UCLA in the Big Ten. It doesn't have the same kind of mystique to it. So, and the Beavers have been getting better within the last couple of years. It's not like this Beaver team is shitty. They're 16th in the country. They're the 3rd best team in the Pac-12. It goes Huskies, Ducks, Beavers. They've only lost 3 games by 3 points. Washington State, Arizona, and the Huskies. So you got to give them love. You got to give them credit. I know some people will be haters, and I've been seeing a lot of posts on my Facebook feed with Beavers and Duck fans, and I guess it just depends on how mature you are about it. Obviously, there's a lot of Beaver fans that want to beat the brakes off the Ducks, right? There's a lot of Duck fans that want to beat the brakes off the Beavers. And I always watch every single Beaver game throughout the year. But the one time that I'm not going to be rooting for the Beavers, right? Besides last week, because I wanted the Huskies to remain undefeated, will be this week as well. And I got to go for my Ducks. But you got to congratulate the Beavs on having a fantastic season. They haven't been this good in quite some time, and I hope they find a conference, and I hope they continue to get better and better, and hopefully one day we can see the Ducks and the Beavers both in the top 10. Let's go, baby. Quite a few friends that are down there. I saw a couple vans that are custom painted, Oregon Duck colors with all the graphics and the painted ducks and all the verbiage. They had the Duck Fight song playing out of this little short bus and other big bus. Got a bunch of the family and the friends hopped in there, and people have been getting ready for this very, very early. A lot of Duck fans have been in Eugene since about 8 or 9 a.m. They left early. So a lot of them have been eating good. A lot of them have been drinking good. So the energy is going to be electric. And again, we lost last year. We're not losing this year. Winning this game, Civil War. Winning the Pac-12 championship against the Huskies, I hope so. And if that happens, we're in the Final Four. And then hopefully it ends up being Georgia, Michigan, Oregon, Ohio State. That's what I would want. Let's go. This is big. Top 10 offense, top 10 defense. And Marcus Mariota was very, very good, but Bo Nix is putting up numbers pretty much identical to Marcus Mariota, besides a few less rushing touchdowns because Marcus Mariota was running the RPO pretty much every game. And that was what they ran pretty much the whole season. RPO, RPO, RPO. And then there was a lot of times where the DN bit, and then he would just run. So, in his Heisman season, he had around like 8, 9 rushing touchdowns. Bo has about half of that, but based off his completion percentage and his touchdown to interception ratio, it's right there. So we might have another Heisman winner, but besides winning the Heisman and having the Heisman curse that's attached to the player, if that means that Bo Nix doesn't win the Heisman, but we win the Natty and Bo Nix pans out in the NFL, that's what I want. I don't want Bo Nix to win the Heisman and then he ends up being a bust in the NFL and we don't make the Natty. So, however you want to, talk about it. I mean, unless we get the trifecta, he wins the Heisman, right? We win the Pac-12 championship and we win the Natty, and then he goes to the NFL and ends up being one of the top 15 quarterbacks. That would be amazing. I'm not sure what the chances are of the trifecta, but what I do know is that typically when you win the Heisman, it's kind of cursed and there's a lot of expectations. And, if Bo Nix wins the Heisman, right, he's probably still not going to be picked first or second. He would probably be the third or fourth quarterback taken, even if he wins the Heisman, which is a little odd. Most of the time when you win the Heisman, you're the first or the second quarterback taken, not third or fourth. But however it pans out, I'm going to be okay with it. But if we win the Heisman, that'll be another trophy here in Eugene. Hopefully we can end up winning this game, the Civil War Pac-12 championship against the Huskies, and then we can make ourselves way to the playoff and hopefully play Michigan, then Georgia, and then we can raise that trophy at the end of the day. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. I'm so ready. And I'm glad I've been able to do pretty much every Duck game this year except for a couple, based off maybe a Husky matchup being a little bit better. And then me being in Eugene for that Colorado Buffalo game when Colorado was 3-0. We were 3-0. And then, you already know what happened from there. I think they went 1-7 after. So once they hit the Ducks and they got slapped in the mouth, then Dion maybe started to realize, ooh, we were a pretty good team and we overachieved early, but maybe a reality check. Got slapped in the face and then haven't really been good since. But, hopefully Dion can recruit good and maybe in the Big 12 in a few years, if he's still there and he's loyal, maybe they have a chance to win the Big 12 since Oklahoma and Texas are moving on to the SEC. Let's go. Yeah, obviously, if they had, Cade, then we already know that they would be scoring probably 20 to 30 points a game, and it would have been much better. But you got to have more than just one quarterback on the roster. You got to have multiple quarterbacks on the roster and better weapons at running back and wide receiver, O line. Everything needs to be filled in. That's why it's tough to be in the Big Ten for recruiting. And then now here comes Oregon, Washington, UCLA, and USC. Now it's even going to be harder. So I feel for teams like Iowa and Wisconsin, because they're going to scale back a little bit. Even Penn State, they're a pretty good team, and they're typically in the top 25, but it's definitely going to hurt them as well, especially if the Ducks take their spot as being like the third best team in the Big Ten, which is very possible with Michigan, Ohio State, and Oregon. But the Big Ten is the super conference, and I think that we're going to be better than the SEC sooner than later. They got Bama, they got Georgia. LSU's not good every year, so you got two powerhouse teams, but at some point, we're going to have 4 or 5, especially if it's Oregon, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, USC. If they can ever get a defense, then, it's going to be a super conference, and the Big Ten will run the show. But, yeah, we got some business to take care of first, especially in this matchup here. Let's go, baby. (127th meeting, first met in 1894. The Oregon Ducks lead the series, 67 wins, 49 losses, and 10 ties. 6th ranked matchup all time. Oregon State seeking back-to-back wins for the first time since 2006, 2007, when the Ducks were booty-os. But guess what? It ain't happening today, baby. Spencer Spiderweb, we love you, and I'm going to pay homage to you, brother, and we miss you, and we're going to win this game for you, brother. Let's go. Let's go, Ducks. Oh, baby. Let's go. You know what it is. And then hopefully we can get some people to come through. Smash that like button, comment, let me know that you're here. Shout out to all the people on Twitter X watching as well. And then hopefully we can hit the goal today to make up for yesterday. Let's go. Ducks with the ball. Go, baby, go. Ooh, big hit by the Beavers special teams. Wow. Big hit by the Beavs. Let's go, baby. And we only lost one game by 3 points, and it wasn't even Bo Nix's fault or the defense. It was Dan Lanning. So hopefully we'll stay aggressive, and we'll be able to correct his wrong. And if that's the only loss we have all year, I'm okay with that. Let's go, baby. We're number 6 in the playoff ranking, but after today, after that Washington game, we get those 2 dubs, we'll probably be number 3. Let's go. Shotgun set. Bo Nix. Bucky. Hey, they got Damian Martinez. We got Bucky Irving, baby. Let's go. Not a chance in hell, Hefe. Not a chance in hell. Let's go, baby. Wow, that was real quick for you, bro. Let's go. 2nd down and 3. Shotgun set. Bo. First down, Ducks through the chains. It's all good. I already know the problems that you got at wide receiver. I would be mad at the world, just like him. If I couldn't fucking throw anybody, any passes that were catchable on the Kansas City Chiefs. I got Patrick Mahomes in fantasy, and I got him on the bench. So, I feel your pain, brother. It's always good to lash out at other people when your quarterback can't fucking throw to a receiver that can catch the damn ball. Facts. Why is that blown dead? Come on. He's not even down. It's the same thing that Auburn did to us when we lost the Natty. Boom, on his butt, not down. Come on, refs. Come on. Can't we have our Auburn moment against Cam Newton in this fucking game? Oh, that could have been like a 50-yard gain. They decide to blow the whistle early there, and then they let them play when we play Cam Newton and Auburn in the Natty. I see how it is. 2nd down and 11. They robbed us there. Boo, refs. It's like Hefe. There we go. Short game. Come on, baby. Let's go. Third down and 9. Let's go. I've been watching this matchup since I was a little kid, man. Feels so good. Shotgun set, 3rd down and 9. Knicks, good protection up front. Floater. Troy Franklin, our best wide receiver. 1st down, Ducks. Move the chains. Let's go. Nice job, Troy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wish I was there. Whistle. Oh, Beavers with a timeout. Yeah, I don't feel sorry for Hefe. I've already banned him before years ago. So, you always get an opportunity to be able to be normal, but if you're going to be that way, I already gave you a break coming back, but apparently, things are still hostile. So, it's all good, man. I'd be mad too if I knew my team wasn't going to go to the Super Bowl and win this year. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Troy. Big game from Troy today. I expect 2 or 3 touchdowns today. Let's go, baby. You the man. I grew up, watching guys like Keenan Howery, Sammy Parker, and Troy Franklin fits that mold, man. Feels so good to be able to have a player that's that good. Let's go, baby. We got this. Let's do it for Spencer Spiderweb, baby. Let's go. Scout. You got to do all the scouting. I ended up watching the Dolphins and the Jets game. I got both of those defenses in fantasy. Shep, I told him, when we go to these matchups, I'm going for the jugular. And after they had the pick 6 with the Jets, I was like, oh, wow, nice. I'm going to get maybe 10 to 16 points with the Jets defense, even though they're going to lose. And then they ended up kicking, obviously, and, going through a pick 6 to another pick 6 when they went for the Hail Mary at the end of the game, or right before halftime, excuse me. And they ran that back for a touchdown. Miami defense and fantasy got me 23. Let's fucking go. You already know your boy's an expert. David in the building. What's good? Go Ducks. What's good, brother? Handoff. Bucky Irving, short game. How are you, David? I hope that you're doing well. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Raiders. But I already knew I should get that Miami Dolphin defense a couple weeks ago because I looked ahead in the schedule and I noticed that they were playing the Jets twice. So the Jets can't move the football. It doesn't matter who their quarterback is. So if you know that you're going to be playing against a shitty team like that, you grab a defense early, and thank God it worked out. They got 13 against the Raiders, 23 today, and I'll probably end up using them again because they played the Jets in a couple weeks. So let's go. And then I hit with all my guys with Montgomery, Amon-Ra, and Laporta. So 23 on the Miami defense, Laporta with 18, Amon-Ra with 18, Montgomery with 15. So with half of my lineup already played, I haven't shit the bed in any spots yet. So feels good. Then I got Dobbs, Rashad White, and Mike Evans against your Colts, Keenan Allen, and I got the number one kicker in Dustin Hopkins on Cleveland. So, and then I got you next week, and then I got Seahawks talk at the end of the year, hoping I can win all three, finish 12-2, number one seed, and then find my way with the championship trophy at the end. Second down and 5. Shotgun set. Bo. Jordan James, short game. Yeah, well, considering, he didn't really have a whole lot of experience and he didn't really have great stats in college either. It was like no touchdown passes, a bunch of picks. Like, it's not like, they had to see what they had out of him better than just repeating it yourself with Zach Wilson. But again, the thing that they should have done is got rid of Zach Wilson last year and kept Mike White, who's the backup for Tua. That quarterback for the Jets was actually pretty good. I thought he was a lot better than Zach Wilson or with Boyle. I think with Mike White, you would have a few more wins than you do now, especially with that Jets defense. And Garrett Wilson would probably appreciate it too. But that's what happens when you hang on to the wrong guy. Mike White proved himself a few games last year that he actually was decent. You can't say the same for the Jets quarterbacks now besides Aaron Rodgers. But again, it's political, right? Because you ended up drafting the guy number 2. There's money involved, politics involved. They just can't draft a guy number 2 and get rid of him and then to start some no-name guy named Mike White. But the Mike White guy was better. So, but at least they have Aaron Rodgers and they don't have to worry about Zach Wilson after this year. Bo, 4th and 1. Did he get it? That was close. First down, Ducks. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Bo. My man. Bodacious. Move the chains. And the Beavers are going to play tough. They got a lot of passion. They got a lot of energy. This is the best the Beavers and Ducks have both been together in a long time. And, you got a great NFL running back in Damian Martinez and DJU, the Clemson transfer. So, and the defense is pretty stout for the Beavers. I mean, they were right there with the Huskies, If they would have ran the ball twice on 3rd and 4th down against the Huskies, they would have won. So it shows you, you have to go to your strengths, right? Which for the Beavers is running the football. Is he? You already know. Shep got 25 out of Tyreek and 22 out of Debo, but he shit the bed with Logan Thomas with 3.5. So. Second down and 3. Let's go, Ducks. Man in motion. Hand off right up the gut. Ooh. Jordan James almost got loose. The juice is loose. First down, Oregon. Let's go. Let's go. Hi, Paisley. Paisley had to give some kisses. He said, Dad, I know you're doing the Duck game. We'll go for a walk after you're done. Yes, we will. All right, baby. Second down and 5. Let's go, Ducks. 4 for 36 yards. Bo Nix, let's go. There we go. Touchdown, Ducks. Bucky Irving on a swing pass on cover 4. Look at that. Wide open in the flat. Easy breezy cover girl. Touchdown, Ducks. Bang. Let's go. Let's go. That's how we do it. This one will either be pretty close or Oregon is going to blow them out. I mean, we'll see how the game progresses. I mean, I hope the game ends up being pretty good, but let's go, baby. My boy Scott McDowell. He's coming into the #1 sports YouTube channel in Oregon. The Oregon Ducks up 6-0. Extra point is up, and it's good. 7-0 Oregon. What's good, my guy? How are you, man? I miss you. I wish you lived a little bit closer, but eventually we'll end up linking up, with you and the fam some point, hopefully in the next couple years. That if you guys ever take a vacation, baby. Let's go. Well, hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving, like I mentioned to you in the text. Hopefully you and the wifey and the kids, everything is good. I talked to you about with my dad and with Kendra and whatnot, and they remember you and they hope that you're doing well. I showed them pictures of you and how you're doing and whatnot, and they miss you. And yeah, it would be really cool, in the next couple of years, because like my dad doesn't live too far from me. It's about 45 minutes. So if you ever come to Oregon, he could always come here, or we could go to him. So he's got a cool little place, cool little pad. Next year, ooh, that would be great, man. I would love to see you, man. Do you guys do you still have any friends or family in Oregon where you can stay at their house so you don't have to get like a hotel or motel or anything like that? Yeah. And we would have to play some video games, even if it's like PlayStation 2, or shoot some hoops. We would definitely have to get a little bit like, a game of like NFL Game Day 98 or an old school game of Madden, and definitely we would have to shoot some hoops. That is we could always throw the baseball around or throw the football around, but I think you and me, we grew up doing the basketball thing, and shooting hoops would be definitely a lot of fun. There's plenty of parks and plenty of places that we could go to around here as well. So we wouldn't have to necessarily go to the rec center and play outside or inside, even though those places are very cool to play. It's very cutthroat at the rec center when you're playing outside, in summertime, or if you're playing inside in their facility, which is amazing. But I'm going to say I haven't touched one of those like Supreme basketballs. They have the grip, like at the rec center, they had the best basketballs, man. You would go in there, and you remember, I would go in there and I'm like, I'm feeling hot. And then I would just stroke like 8 threes in a pickup game. And I'll be like, man, that basketball, though, it had that certain grip on it. And you couldn't use it outside. They definitely took care of their equipment there. But I can't wait to see you, man. You'll hotel it up. Yes. Yeah, we both old, bro. We both old. But we young at heart, though. Yeah, I'd love to see you, bro. 7-0 Oregon. Let's go. 15 plays, 88 yards. Bucky Irving with a 14-yard TD catch. What kind of defense were the Beavers playing? None. Let's go. The walk-up half-court shot. Bro, I used to make the craziest shit because I would always do trick shots with, like, my dad. And you already know at the old school house, like, I used to play ball, outside for, like, 8, 10, 12 hours at a time. Hop from one park to the next or just play outside. And I feel like I could shoot left-handed. I could do right-handed, half-court shots, no problem. You remember that, huh? Good old times, bro. All right, DJU, you're up, baby. We'll give them a little bit of love too. Okay. We'll hit you with the little Beaver logo, and we'll see if the Beaver offense can do something. Now, if I'm Oregon State and I'm running as the offensive coordinator there, and I'm Jonathan Smith, you got to go here heavy. Damian, and a whole lot of Martinez, baby. And we already know they don't got the same kind of wide receivers as the Oregon Ducks. So, it might get one-dimensional, but the guy is so good. Even if you had 10 in the box, like, I don't even know if you could stop this guy on a regular basis. He's that good. It typically takes 2 to 4 guys to bring him down. And if you try to tackle him upper body, good luck. you'll run right past you. So, I might be a Duck fan since the 80s, but I have mad love and respect for greatness, even if it's on the rival team that the Ducks are playing. And this is the best player on the team, hands down, Damian Martinez. Big fact. All right, baby. Let's see what the Ducks defense can do. We got a top 10 D in the country. And again, if you're just joining the broadcast, there's only 2 teams in Division One out of 110 plus teams in Division One. Only 2 that are top 10 offense, top 10 defense. Okay, one is the Georgia Bulldogs, and they've won the Natty the last 2 years, and they have all the NFL recruits with Kirby Smart. No surprise. The other team would surprise you. It's the Oregon Ducks. They're top 10 in offense, which is no surprise, but top 10 in defense. We're never top 10 in defense. We're normally top 50, top 80. We're not very good. But this year, it's starting to come together. And on top of that, there's 2 teams that are considered that have the best offensive lines in the country. You want to take a guess who they are? Number 1, Georgia Bulldogs. Number 2, or maybe a tie for first, the Oregon Ducks. And we got the best center in college football in Jackson Powers. So let's go, baby. Let's go. Well, my dad bred me to be an athlete. Obviously I was always outside. So basketball, baseball, football, soccer, and I would put a lot of effort and time in anything that I would do. And obviously I think the results showed. But the pickup games were always the funnest because I remember growing up, I would always pick the people. It would be like a team of basketball players on the select team, and I would pick guys that were like skaters, guys that like didn't really play basketball, just to see if I could motivate them to believe in themselves, to see if we can beat the starting 5 on the basketball team, just like playing at recess or in pickup games. And a lot of times we would win, and they would get so fucking pissed, the other team. But again, sometimes you can have a skater that's just a really good baller, and that's what it is, man. You just got to be able to get people to believe in themselves. Big facts. I know people used to judge you, remember? They'd be like, oh, this guy, he can't shoot threes. And then you'd be drilling threes on their ass at the rec center. So, sometimes, you might have a certain look where they think you're more of an inside player. You might be a little bit, you got a little bit of a swagger to you. You got a little bit more of a bigger build. You're like a Kevin Owens, a superstar. But then you went in there and started dropping threes on their head. You the man. All right, here we go. First down and 10. Play action fake. DJ. Nice catch. First down, Beavers. All right, we'll give the Beavers their love here, even though the Duck logo is much better. But we'll give them the proper love while they have the ball. We're not haters here. Stat line is great. 26-6, 2,418 yards. 3rd place in the Pac-12 with the Ducks and the Huskies. You beat out USC and Utah, even though they didn't have Cameron Rising and USC didn't have a defense all year. But you still have to win those games, and they only lost to Washington State, Arizona, and the Huskies by 3 each. So they lost by a total of 9 all year combined. So we got to make sure we're giving the Beavs the proper respect. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. I want to see a lot of blitzes today. Crossing routes. And as soon as they decide to not go to Damian Martinez, that's when we're going to exploit them and we're going to be able to take off. So hopefully DJU, Jonathan, Smith and company will go to Damian Martinez heavy because that's going to give them the best chance to keep this game close or to upset the Ducks. First down and 10. Another play action fake. They said, fuck Damian Martinez. Incomplete. Oh, wow. PI on the Ducks, huh? It's like the Beavers fans booed in the crowd and then they dropped the flag. Come on, Johnson. Well, so far their strategy is good. They're like, well, the Ducks are planning for us to run Damian Martinez 30 times today. Let's go and do some play action bootleg fake and do some play action the first 2 games. And they got positive results on the first 2 plays. Good for them. Sometimes you got to be able to do the opposite, of what maybe we think you're going to do. So penalties, 10th most yards, 9th most. Come on, Ducks. We need to clean it up. We're not the Dallas Cowboys out there. Hit him. There we go. Strand, Stock, Levengood, Miller, Fuaga on that Beavers offensive line. Bolden, Yelling, Martinez, Stud, Gold, and Irish. But Martinez is even better than DJU. DJ is the best quarterback the Beavers have had in how many years? A long time, right? But Martinez is NFL. I don't know about DJU if he would be a good NFL player. He might end up being like a backup, and then if he gets a chance, maybe he can do something. But he doesn't really scream like NFL starter to me when I look at him. You know what I mean? But maybe a guy that could make himself into a name if he gets to the NFL. But Martinez looks like he could end up being not only an NFL running back, but maybe even as good as a top 12 running back if he stays healthy and continues to work on his game. Bassa, Jacobs, Jackson, Williams, Stevens, Manning. Let's go, Ducks. 3rd down and 4. Hope everyone had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Keeper. Didn't get it. He's short. Let's go, baby. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter and X as well. We got a simultaneous broadcast on there. So shout out to everyone there, everyone in the room. Smash that like button, comment, let me know that you guys are here, and then hopefully we can end up, getting some support from some of the GOATs, and we can hit the goal. Let's go. 4th down and 1. Go to Martinez. It's a no-brainer, isn't it? Uh-oh. False start on the Beavs. False start on the Beavs. Yeah, we got to make up for yesterday. Yesterday, that was not what I was anticipating for Thanksgiving. And I know people are visiting family, but still, there's other people, that are going to be doing the same thing that I'm going to be doing, right? And not a lot, not a lot of people are dedicated to grinding it out almost every single day. But we actually just hit our 2,000th live stream video yesterday. So we're already over 2,000. So if you actually multiply that for 365 days of the year in the last 6 years, I literally have been streaming almost every day for the last 6 years. A lot of grind. Oregon takes over, baby. So just to put that in perspective for y'all, and we're almost at the 4 million views, there's 365 days in the year. And then I started on YouTube in 2017 and recorded on other platforms prior, right? So 365 days a year, 6 years in a row would be 2,190. And I hit 2,000 in that time. So there's 189 days that I didn't stream, but I streamed for 2,000 out of the 2,190 days that were available. So if that's not effort and work, I don't know what the fuck is. So big facts. Nice job by the Ducks, baby. Sometimes you got to put that Beaver logo up there, make sure they know. Let's go, baby. But it feels good. Let me see how much closer we are to the 4 million view mark. I know we're getting closer there, too. I mean, it'll still take a little bit, to be able to get to that particular number, but that's pretty amazing if you really think about it. All right, so we're at 3.8 million. So 3,878,175. So we're getting there. We're getting close. We'll be at 3.9 million before you know it, and then we'll hit the 4 million view mark, which will be awesome. We'll have to maybe figure out some kind of a giveaway or something to do on that particular. And that means a lot, too, because you got to think some streams, we hit huge numbers, some we don't. So for the amount of grind that I'm putting in, I mean, it really does speak volumes. Big fact. Let's go, baby. Great stop by the Ducks. Let's go, Bo. Your turn. And we want to make sure we're soaking in, every single minute, every single game. And if we can win this, Huskies beat the Washington State Cougars in the Apple Cup tomorrow. We'll get a rematch. And if we get a rematch, I'm pretty confident that we can end up getting the payback on the Huskies. And if that happens, then we're going to be in the top 4. Predictions for Michigan and Ohio State tomorrow. Does anyone have any predictions on who they think is going to win? I'm kind of leaning Michigan. That's kind of what my kind of gut tells me. So Georgia will be the 1. Michigan will beat Ohio State. Michigan will be the 2. Hopefully Oregon will end up being the 3. And then I still want Ohio State to be in the playoff. And hopefully they just drop down to 4. I think that would be what I would, want to see, because I don't think there's any other team that's on the Ohio State level to take their spot at 4. But, it is what it is. But I'll be up early watching that Michigan and Ohio State game. You think it's a toss-up? You're not leaning one way or another? I mean, even with Harbaugh on the sideline or not on the sideline? I mean, who's got the better quarterback? Michigan. Who's got the better running back? Blake Corum, Michigan. McCarthy, Michigan. Corum, Michigan. Who's got the better defense? Michigan. So, I mean, Ohio State could do it, right? It's very, very possible. What's the one thing that they got? Maserati Marv? So they got one thing that's better in Maserati Marv. But other than that, quarterback's not better. Defense isn't better. Running back isn't better, right? So, I mean, they're still really, really good at what they got. But I would assume that Michigan should be good enough to get the dub. But if Ohio State wins, good for them. But I'm trying to, figure out the timeline and the timetable. So, but the way that I want to do it is that if 1 and 4 play each other, then Georgia, Ohio State play in the first round. 2 and 3 will play, which would be Michigan and then Oregon. And then if we win and then Georgia wins, and then you'll get number 1 versus number 3 in the Natty. But we'll see if my ESP is correct. Odin Son in the building, my boy. Happy belated Thanksgiving to Hybrid and Odin Son. I will be doing the WWE pay-per-view tomorrow. We will be doing that. I'll be up early watching games and spending time with Paisley. I'll watch Ohio State, Michigan at 9 a.m., and I'll watch the Apple Cup. I'll be watching all of that, but we will be doing the WWE, kind of a watch-along, live stream watch-along for that pay-per-view tomorrow. I'm hyped about it. Thank you so much, man. The donos on some of the streams have been really light, and it was not what I expected yesterday. We really did need, the right people to come up and step up. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you, man. You're still one of the OGs that, hasn't run away from the channel, that hasn't gave up. We still communicate outside of the streams. And if I didn't have people like you, I wouldn't be able to survive. I wouldn't be able to continue to do this stream, to be able to entertain y'all and do the most important thing in my life, that is this channel, and take care of Paisley. So thank you so much, man. No marker out. Thank you, man. Odin Son with a 50. Way to show him how to do it, bro. Thank you so much. I got to be able to get Paisley dog food and treats. And I don't even like my stepmom and my dad were asking me what I want for Christmas, and my stepsister's got this big fucking list on Amazon, for 100 things. And I literally told them I don't want anything. Like I said, it would be really nice if I could give away, stuff to people that are less fortunate. That's pretty much what I said. I said, if you guys give me money, I'm just going to use that money to give things to people that are less fortunate, or I want to be able to get dog food and some toys for Paisley. And that's literally it. I mean, I obviously could have asked for vintage wrestling figures, G.I. Joes, Transformers, Oregon Duck merchandise from Nike, hoodies, all that stuff. But I figure if I can do something for someone else, that would be better than me getting something for myself, even though the donos haven't been what they were last year. And obviously, I definitely need the money to pay bills and to support. But as long as I have a roof over my head and I can take care of Paisley, that's really what matters. Thank you so much, bro. You're a real OG. And Odin Son is the first OG to donate heavy to me years ago, and he continues to do it to this day, even when things are tight for him and his family, and that really means a lot. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang, $50 holla. Hopefully people can follow suit and follow your lead. I appreciate you very much. Thank you, bro. $50 holla. Thank you. And he's one of the only people to actually send me wrestling figures and send me gifts in the mail. I haven't been able to do my normal toy hunting and shopping, just because money has been extremely tight and I'm focused on this stream. And you ended up sending me a few of those wrestling figures for AEW, and those were all my very first AEW figures with the Omega and the Moxley box set, which is still one of my favorites. I look at it often. And then you got me the Kenny Omega, you got me the Chris Jericho, and the Sting. And I really, really appreciate you, man. You're a good-hearted dude, and I think that's why we vibe so much, man. I love you. I appreciate you, and thank you for your support. And I know you'll never stop, so that really makes me, feel good. Some people stopped. Some people went to other channels. Some people have other things going on in their life. But you continue to be able to step up and be one of the heavy hitters and one of the goats of the channel, and we couldn't do it without you. Like 100%. Couldn't do it without you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, bro. End of the first quarter. Oregon Ducks 7, Beavers 0. Is there something specific you want to see for your dono? You want me to be able to throw up some wrestling photos for the WWE pay-per-view tomorrow that we're going to do? It's at 5 o'clock. I'm excited about it. I might do another stream in the morning, but again, if I knew that we could hit goal for sure, and we would have a good amount of people in the room, I would do Michigan and Ohio State every year. But we're not there yet. So I'll watch it myself with Paisley and enjoy it, and then we'll go from there. And then obviously I'll look to the afternoon if there's something else that I could do. But we'll probably just stick it out with just one stream. And it's not like I'm lazy and I don't want to do 2 or 3 streams. It's just the bottom fact when you're a dog father, I don't want to leave Paisley alone, for 8 hours and she's just waiting and sitting there. She's a very needy dog and she needs to be able to be loved and exercise and whatnot. So that's usually the main reason why I don't bust out 2 or 3 unless I know that we can hit the goal on both streams. If not, I don't want to waste 3 hours of my time when I could be spending that time with Paisley. So big facts. It's Raider week, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Joseph. Go to a TV, turn it on, and you can watch the game. Simple as that. Let's go, baby. See, Hybrid's thinking what I'm thinking, that Michigan's going to wipe the floor with Ohio State for the 3rd year in a row. That's what I'm thinking, too. Like I said, McCarthy, you got a better quarterback. I don't like Ohio State's quarterback. He's unreliable. Obviously gotten a little bit better since the woes that he had at the beginning of the year, but I don't trust him. And imagine if you didn't have Maserati Marv, then what are we talking about? Like, he bails you out a lot based on being an amazing athlete, and your dad is Marvin Harrison, so we already know that he's going to be a fantasy star in the league, and whatever team he goes to, it looks like he'll be a star. He'll have a chance to be one of the top maybe 14, top 12 wide receivers, like even in his rookie year, but I'm thinking the same thing. I would be shocked if Ohio State wins, but I don't want Ohio State to lose by a lot. I want them to still be, in the playoff. I still want them to be the 4th team. So it's Ohio State, Georgia, and then Michigan and Oregon. And then if we can beat Michigan and then we can beat Georgia, that's what I want. I want to go the hardest path for us to be able to be champs. So that way no one can say anything. Oh, you played this team or you played that team, or, oh, if you would have played this team, you would have got work. I want the hardest of the teams there. So, oh, a tattoo. Nice. You want some Chiefs? What do you want? Some wrestlers? You just let me know. I don't know how long you're going to be in here, but just let me know what you want to see, and I got you. You want some Bray Wyatt? But I feel bad because I would really love if the donos were better. I would have loved to be able to give Sarah more stuff throughout the year. I would have loved to be able to buy you some Bray Wyatt merch. You know what I mean? But again, I can only give back what I get. And, and normally I give back a lot of what I get unless I have bills to pay, which I do. But hopefully we get to a point where, the donos are on a good pace and a good level where I can start giving away a lot of things like I did last year. But again, it all depends on if we have people like Odin Sun or if we don't, If we have people like Odin Sun, then we're going to be good. But if we don't, then, you already know what it is. Go Taz! Go Taz! First down, Ducks. Let's go. Thank you so much, man. And I know Paisley's dog food is going to be running out pretty soon, and that bag usually runs like $80. So, not cheap stuff. So, I know it's kind of crazy to think of, people, family members asking, what do you want for Christmas? And I'm telling them Petco, for Paisley and stuff. But I would rather make sure that she's happy. And if I can, help other fortunate people or less fortunate people than me, go, go, go. Touchdown, Ducks. Let's go. Bo Nix on a 20-yard inside zone read for a TD. Beaver fans, where you at? Touchdown, Oregon. And they thought that they, were going to be close with the Huskies, and they were. But if you think you're going to be close with the Ducks, you were in Corvallis, so you had that home crowd in that rain last week. This is going to be a different story. This might get fucking ugly, where we might end up beating them by 20 or 30. I don't know if I want that, but it definitely will look nice on the resume after the loss we had last year. And remember, every point we score, we score for Spencer Spider-Webb, who actually died in a rock climbing accident with the team about a year or two ago. And we have custom uniforms that are dedicated to him. So remember that. We have extra motivation, not only to win the Civil War, not only to play Washington in the Pac-12 championship and then play Michigan and Georgia and hopefully get to the Natty, but we're doing it for Spencer. And so far, Spencer is smiling down, and he loves what he's seeing from us right now. We love you, Spence. Spiderweb in the building. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Bo Nix, baby. He's something else, man. And like I said, if he doesn't win the Heisman, right, and they give it to Jaden Daniels, fine. I want to be able to go as far as possible, win this game, win the Pac-12, win the Natty if possible. But if not, and he doesn't win the Heisman, I just want him to pan out in the NFL. I don't want him to be Marcus Mariota. I want him to be better than Marcus Mariota. And he kind of plays like a better version of a Baker Mayfield with better completion percentage. So hopefully if that's the case, I don't know if he got drafted by the Giants. He's not going to be able to turn it around by himself, but he would be able to play with Thibodeau on the other side in practice. And then maybe Bo Nix could be, not as good as maybe an Eli Manning or a team that has that many weapons. But if Saquon is healthy and Bo Nix is playing on the Giants like he is now on the Ducks, and then Thibodeau keeps getting better and they get more offensive line and more weapons for Bo, maybe a guy like Bo Nix could slightly, not fully, but slightly make the Giants a little better, so we'll have to wait and see. And I'm hoping that guys like Rome Odunze and this guy right here, Troy Franklin, go to the Chiefs. Otherwise, if they don't get wide receivers, they're fucked because obviously with the Chiefs, they need better receivers to help out Mahomes. It's ridiculous. I got Mahomes in fantasy. He's like the 12th quarterback. He's had a horrible year fantasy-wise. And again, it's not Mahomes that's bad. It's the receivers. Mahomes is still a top 3 quarterback in the NFL, but based off the drops, these wide receivers are making him look bad, all right? And they still need to clean it up. But with that being said, the Chiefs and the Dolphins probably are still the 2 best teams in the AFC, just like with the Eagles and the Niners, right? And the Dolphins are healthy on defense. So I think really the only team that could clip, the Chiefs, realistically, is probably Miami, right? And then you would think maybe the Jags, if Trevor gets a little bit better and more efficient with ETN and that defense with Josh Allen on the Jags plays well, they have a chance. And then I thought maybe the Ravens had a chance if Mark Andrews stayed healthy, but more than likely he might be out for the year. But even with that being said, the Ravens defense is legit. They're up there too, being top 3 with the Chiefs. It's just that can Lamar give you enough with OBJ and all the rest with no Mark Andrews? And that's still a big question mark. So we will see. 14-0 Ducks, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Heroes Hide lineup. Meet and greets. Cody Rhodes, no way. Riddle, he cut his hair now. I saw him in his on his social media post. Booker T and Kurt Angle, dude, I would lose my mind. That would be something if I ever got rich. I would like to fly to you, and then we would be able to go to an event together, like go to a wrestling signing together. I would be in like pure bliss, because there's not very many people that love wrestling. Like Sarah loves it, I love it, you love it. I feel with my boy Preston and Justin, they're not as hardcore as me and you guys. You know what I mean? They watch, but they don't watch as much as us. So, go Ducks, baby. My boy Justin just messaged. He's watching. My dad's watching. Let's go. Yeah, we do got to put down the wide receivers when they're not doing a job and making the number 1 quarterback in the NFL look like shit, and they're losing games that they shouldn't be losing, and they got a top 3 defense. like I said, we've never seen this before. It's always been a top 3 offense and a top 15 defense. So, we need to get guys that can get in there that run routes more crisp, that have better hands. We don't want guys that have stone hands on the Chiefs. We want to have guys that can actually catch the football. And that's a good opportunity for Rome and Franklin, or maybe a guy like Mike Evans to join, maybe, the Kansas City Chiefs and solve those problems. Big facts. I mean, Odin will tell you, any Chief fan will tell you, it's been the most frustrating thing all year. Probably the most frustrating thing besides Taylor Swift. Floater, DJU, incomplete. Raw in December, Raw in February, Raw in January in Oregon, and me and Preston are going. We're going to sneak down as close as we can. So our seats are at like the 300 level at Moda, dead center, like 50-yard line, but really, really high. We'll enjoy a few matches there, and then whenever me and Preston get froggy, we'll be scanning the building, and we'll be looking for open seats on the camera side, because usually there's not a lot of people sitting over there, and then we'll sneak down within the first 5 rows, and then we'll just post up and act like those are our seats, and then we'll sit there the rest of the show. But we already got our tickets for Raw. We went to AEW Dynamite a couple weeks ago, which was awesome. And we got to see ROH too. Get him! There we go. Nice tackle. Let's go. Awesome, baby. Bray Wyatt Death Moth. Nice. All right, Beavers with the punt. Beaver fans having a mental breakdown now, actually thinking they were going to win this game. It's like, you won last year when Bo Nix got hurt, and we should have won that game. Same thing with the Huskies. When fucking we played them and Bo went down with an injury, right? And obviously you ended up taking advantage, but we don't got no injuries this year, and we're better this year than we were last year. So, all right, let's do some photos here for our boy Bray Wyatt, one of our favorite wrestlers overall. So let me throw a few up here, and then we'll get the moth tattoo that you're going to get to as well. Still can't believe Bray is not with us anymore. And they still dropped the ball on the Fiend. This was the best original character, and he made it himself, right? That WWE has had since The Undertaker. Like, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, that the kids wouldn't like it, or it wasn't going to sell merch. This was like the character, like wrestling defined. They should have kept it going, and they should have gave him a belt. They should have rewarded him. Big facts. The biggest dropping of the ball maybe of all time. I don't think I've ever seen a character get the ball dropped as much as him, which is totally unacceptable. But again, it's wrestling, and Vince has his guys that he would like, big guys like Omos. He's like, oh, Omos versus Seth Rollins, that'll be good. Fuck no one wants to see Omos wrestle. You got to have athletic guys and athletic guys. So this is the tattoo you're gonna get. You're gonna get the Bray Wyatt moth. And the best part about Bray, is that he was a really caring, good dude. It's just not, he was just like a wrestling persona, that he was a really, really well-liked dude. Because that's really what it comes down to, not your possessions, not how much money you make, but how you treat other people and how they remember you. And that's one thing that I will always remember about him, as being one of the kindest guys that would go out of his way for the men and the women to make them feel comfortable in the business. Big facts. Some good stories about Liv Morgan and a few others where he kind of took them under their wing to be able to help them out. Big facts. Appreciate you. I'll get you some more photos once we get to the next commercial break, bro. Will Stein, Einstein, Tech 9, Will Stein. Let's go. First down and 10. Little bootleg. You got to go. Okay. I'll say, like I said, next time you come in, I'll be able to get you some more photos. And I appreciate you so much for your support. The support has been lacking, and that's just the bottom line. In some streams, it's just so unacceptable. But, we got people like you that come through to show that mad love. And I will never forget it, man. It's like Bray Wyatt. I'll never forget him. And I'll never forget what you do for the channel. I love you, bro. Appreciate you. $50, halfway to the goal. Chiefs Kingdom in the building. My guy. Are you going to be able to be in the stream tomorrow for the WWE stream? I assume you'll be able to, as long as you don't got shit to do. Nice job, James. 14-0 Ducks. Stephen Jones. All right, come on, Bo. 10 for 11? That's unacceptable. Let's go, Knicks. Little screen. Block for him. There we go. There we go, Patrick. There we go. First down, Ducks. He almost got loose. But I should be there right now. Let's go. First down and 10, man in motion. Shotgun set. Knicks steps up. Man, we are just going to be rolling this team. This defense cannot hang with us. Again, top 10 offense, top 10 defense. We've never had this before. And that's why I feel that we have a much better chance than we did with Mariota, because we didn't have a top 10 defense when we played Ohio State. I knew we were going to lose that natty. The one that I thought we were going to win is the one against Cam Newton and against Auburn. That was ours. So we need to get payback for that potential loss that we had with Michael Dyer rolling on someone's back and then getting those additional 15 to 20 yards. But that was our natty, right? Darren Thomas, LaMichael James, Anthony, right? Jeffrey Mayle. That was our team, man. Let's go. For Spence, baby. Let's go. 14-0 Ducks. Keep pouring it on. Let's make it 21, baby. Shotgun set. Bo. Pump fake. Throw it out of bounds. Good decision. Nice. I need to be able to take her to get nails trimmed, and I need to wash her. But again, you need money to be able to do those things. So. Let's go, baby. Wow. With the drops that he had, he'd be at 85% completion percentage. That's nuts. I mean, even being in the high 70s is fucking unreal. Bo Nix is just so in tune. But also, you got the best offensive line, arguably in the country besides Georgia. That helps because it gives you more time. You got a top 10 defense. That helps. And even though Dan Lanning is an idiot, he's still probably one of the top 10 coaches in college football. His decision-making is kind of Chip Kelly, overly aggressive, which most of the time we hate as Duck fans. But if it ends up getting us dubs 99% of the time, we'll take it. But again, he better play differently against the Huskies the next time around. It better not come down to those particular going for it on fourth down by instead of just taking the points when you know the game is going to be more than likely close and decided by 3. Man in motion. Bo tipped. Oh my God. I thought Ferg was going to come up with that. Oh my God. Look at Ferg. He's wide open. Oh, oh, Ferg. If Ferg was a wide receiver, he could have got that, man. Second down and 10. Screen pass. Oh, good tackle by the Beavs. Let's go, baby. And, there's going to be a lot of bandwagon Oregon fans, in Oregon and across the country, but for a lot of us that are OGs that have been fans, since the 80s or 90s, this is special. We used to watch when we would only win a game a year, 1, maybe 2. So to be able to get to this point, it feels really, really good. Third down and 9, whistle blown. Cason and basketball in the building. What's good? Hopefully the defense gets a little bit better against the Broncos. Tough loss on Thanksgiving. I think a lot of people are rooting for the Lions to get that win, but if you got injuries on the corners and the defense is injured, they're giving up way too many points. So hopefully they can firm that up. But I got 3 Lions in fantasy. I got Montgomery, I got Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Sam Laporta. So obviously I believe in the Lions. We just need that Lions defense to get better. Shotgun set, third down and 14 after the penalty. Bucky Irving, short game. Ducks, Bucks, Blazers, Mariners, Kraken. So Oregon Ducks, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's the only team I root for that's outside of the Pacific Northwest. Mariners, because I met Griffey. And then Kraken. And then the Blazers. Shit. Field goal is no good. Jesus Christ. Come on, Camden Lewis. Fuck. Like, why are we even going to go for field goals if you can't make a goddamn field goal? Fucking A, Camden. Like, give us back Jason Siegel from back in the day. At least give us a kicker that is fucking reliable. Golly. I hate kickers that are unreliable. Sucks. Jesus Christ, we better. And we better, I mean, I would love it for us to be able to recruit like the best kicker in the country, like in high school or someone that plays soccer, and try to get someone that's going to be like one of the top 5 guys and a guy that could go to the NFL. I mean, I think that investing in a kicker, instead of maybe like getting a 5th wide receiver or like a 4th tight end or, a 7th defensive end, maybe you scrap one of those scholarships and try to get like a really quality kicker. Because think about how many games that get decided by 7 points or less, more in the NFL. But when you're playing a good matchup, sometimes you need those extra points and those field goals. So, and we haven't had too many amazing kickers. I think Siegel might have been my favorite one growing up out of all the kickers that we've ever had. But Camden Lewis is boo boo, no good, no good. Maybe Dan Lanning isn't an idiot. Maybe we have to give him credit that maybe he just knew that, Camden Lewis can't kick. And again, I was pissed because some of them, I mean, I get it if it's a longer field goal, compared to like a chip shot. But if you don't trust your kicker, maybe I got to apologize to Dan Lanning. Maybe I got to understand that, he's aggressive, wants to be like Chip Kelly. But also, as the year has gone along, Camden Lewis can't make a fucking field goal, not even chip shots. So if that's the case, I apologize, Dan Lanning. You really pissed me off in that Washington game by when we got the pick on Michael Penix Jr., right? We knew that he wasn't going to throw many picks. Maybe that one. We were down by what, 4? And we could have ended up kicking that and getting down by 1, but they decided to go for it. And then we did the same thing in the third quarter, going for it on 4th down when we could have attempted a field goal. But who knows? What if Camden Lewis went for those field goals and would have missed them? Maybe both or maybe one. So sometimes you got to let the season play out and understand that you don't have a good kicker. So I guess the Ducks have one spot on the team that's not good, which is kicker. And other than that, we're good everywhere else. "34 yards. Can't even make a 34-yarder. I think all my Duck friends are all talking about it too. It was just too early in the season for us to realize that we thought that Camden Lewis would be at least, sufficient enough to be able to make kicks. I'm going to look up his stat line real quick to see where he's at. All right, let me look at it, see what his stat line is. Unless, Matt, you have his stat line, let's look it up. I don't think it'll have the stats updated to this game. And then enters number 5 in Oregon history with 302 points career scored. 6 foot, 205 senior from North Carolina. Well, maybe he needs to go back to North Carolina and figure out how to fucking kick. Number 5 in Oregon history with 302 career points scored. But how many of that has he missed? The all-time record is Royce Freeman with 384. 37 career field goals are tied for number 4 in program history. Aiden Schneider holds the all-time record with 51. Schneider was pretty good. Honorable mention, second team All Pac-12, third team All Pac-12. Toby in the building. What's good? Get him. Incomplete. They can't even complete a pass. It's almost halftime. All right, so let's look to see what he's got. So field goals made, 13, which is 5th. Field goal attempts, 13 for 16, 81%, but that's lower now. PAT, 55 out of 56, 98%. 13 for 16, 55 out of 56 out of PATs. But it just seems like a lot of the field goals that he's missed are as of late, and that's why we're noticing it. We didn't notice it before, but we're like, we can't count on you anymore. 13 for 16 isn't terrible, but I mean, as far as field goal kickers is concerned, that's kind of bad. Like, you want a guy that's like 16 out of 16 or 15 out of 16, not 13 out of 16 or 13 out of 17. That's not good. So, Alabama, Auburn, yeah, Michigan, Ohio State, Washington State. Little toe drag swag by the Beavs. Third down and 11 conversion. First down, Beavers. There we go. Another first down, Oregon State. And they haven't even really given it to Damian Martinez. Like, you realize this is the best player on the team. You probably should get him the ball. He has the ability to score 4 or 5 touchdowns in a single game. Get him the damn ball. I know Oregon's got a top 10 defense, but if you would have just went to him twice on 3rd and 4th down against the Huskies, you would have won. But obviously it's intimidating when you're on the road than not at home. It's a combination. It's the snapper, the holder, the kicker. Nice tackle. But, if maybe Dan, didn't have a whole lot of trust in the kicker, and he decided to go for it, I understand why. Because after that miss, I don't think I want us to go for field goals the rest of the year. I don't give a shit who we play. It's like if you can't even make a chip shot 34, 35-yarder, you might as well go for it. We have a better chance of getting a first down with Bo Nix and Troy Franklin and Bucky Irving than counting on Camden Lewis's fucking leg, which is unreliable. So at this point, I was pissed and I was mad and I was angry at Dan Lanning for that Washington loss. But now I forgive him and I understand now where we're at. And I'm back on the Dan Lanning bandwagon. So I'm back on it now. Like I said, I feel with his recruiting, it's going to continue to get us to be better and better. We'll be right there with Michigan and Ohio State in the Big Ten. And until we get a reliable kicker, I don't mind him going for it like Chip Kelly. But once we have our kicker, then he needs to scale back on that. But I'm not too happy with Camden Lewis right now. Second and 12. DJ. What a catch. Oh, Suplex City. And then you got a Beaver player that pushed. Hopefully the flag is on the Beaver player. Let's go. Suplex City. First down and 10. Get him! Incomplete. Yeah, but after that suplex, that push at the end, it could have been offsetting penalties. After the push by the Oregon State player afterwards. Hey, we're playing for Spider, bro. What do you expect? Suplex City, dude. We're tapping into our inner Brock Lesnar. And I got a Brock Lesnar fucking elite figure from like 15 years ago sitting at the table staring at me right now. Coincidence? I think not. All my other Duck homies now are all on the same page. We go for it the rest of the season on 4th down. We never kick a field goal. Incomplete. DJ is not Bo Nix. Not even close. And he still might be one of the better quarterbacks in the Pac-12, but there is a big gap between the Heisman potential winner and Bo Nix and him. Bossa, baby. Love me some Bossa. He's a boss man. He's a boss man. Come over here, man. It's me, Bossa. 3rd down and 10. Third down and 10. 5 wide. Shotgun set. Ducks bring pressure. Little slant. Gain of about 8 yards. 4th down and 2. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Poof. Let's go, baby. 4th down and 1. Let's go. Let's go. 4th down and 1. 1st down, Beavers. Move the chains. Touchdown, Beavers. Like about time they need to go to Damian Martinez, but they go with the screen pass there before the tutty. Second and goal. I haven't seen the points yet. Let me see it. Back in the building. What's good? Man in motion. Second and goal. Not going to Damian Martinez for whatever reason. Hits the outside. Dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Beavers. There we go, Beavers. Extra point is up, and it's good. Crazy that they have not gone to their best player all game, and they're only down 7. But we will be a team that is one of the best in the country in the second half to make adjustments. So we'll make the proper adjustments in the second half, and then hopefully we'll be able to pull away. Great play call by the Beavs there and Jonathan Smith. You know, because we anticipate it's going to be Damian Martinez, and they haven't really given him the ball all game, which is very odd. But they're only down 7. Well, Michigan State is ass. Some matchups are going to be good and some matchups are terrible, especially in college football. There's not going to be great matchups every week. Usually there's only a couple each week that are worth watching. Come on, Oregon. Don't fumble. All right, let's see if we can get a touchdown here before half. 48 seconds. We're not going to just sit there and kneel it. All right. But we don't want to be dumb either, right? Like the Jets and go for a Hail Mary, right? And have that, intercepted in return for a touchdown. It's like the most Jet thing ever. But it was awesome for my Miami defense in fantasy, though. I'll tell you that. 23 points in fantasy at the end of the year. That's what helps you win. Let's go. And even though the Jets didn't do terrible, they had a touchdown on defense as well, a pick six, 2 picks, a fumble recovery. They gave up 28 points, and they still got 12. So that's a pretty good day in fantasy when you have all those things that you give up and you still get 12 points out of your defense. So I'm sitting good with the Jets and the Dolphins with my defenses in fantasy, baby. Let's go. Come on, Oregon. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Bo. You got this, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Bo. 41 seconds left. We got this. First down and 10. Man in motion. Shotgun set. Oregon State brings a late blitz. Wide open. Tez Johnson. First down. Oregon. Move the chains. Let's go. Let's go, baby. 2-minute drill. Let's go. Troy Franklin. It's that dude. If you don't know, now you know. Nice job, Troy. Ooh, down the sideline. Incomplete. Great play by the Beavs. Good defense there. Nice job. You don't feel comfortable at any yardage because if you can't even make a 34 or 35-yard field goal, there's no point in going for field goals. If he's missing 50s and 40s, that's one thing. But if you can't make 20s and 30s, why are we going for field goals at all with Camden Lewis? Just go for it on 4th down, which is totally the opposite of what I normally would say. But normally I don't have a shitty kicker. You got to be able to make that decision. If you don't have trust, you got to do what you trust. And that's Bo Nix. Bo! Yes. Let's go, baby. Troy Franklin on a crossing route, 43-yard touchdown, Oregon. Extra point is up and it's good. Let's fucking go. Best wide receiver we've had in a long, long time. One of the best we've ever had in our Oregon Duck history. Let's go. Bo Nix, Troy Franklin, thank you very much. Touchdown, Ducks. And we could be up right now 24-7, right? But again, Camden Lewis, you can't trust him. But who you can trust is Bo Nix and Troy Franklin. I'm going to miss this combination. I really am. That's why I hope that we can continue this journey where we play the Huskies, we play Michigan, and we play Georgia. I need this for my soul. Like I said, I don't really have too many wins with a lot of my sport teams. It took 20 years for the Mariners to finally break the playoff slump. The Blazers are trash, even though they made the Western Finals against the Warriors a couple years ago and got swept. But I don't expect anything out of the Blazers. The Mariners, I think, are on the up and up, but it took them a long time to get relevant. The Buccaneers got lucky by getting Arians, Brady, Gronk, and AB, and we got the job done. But I don't think anything would be sweeter for me personally would be a natty for Oregon and a World Series win for the Mariners. If I can get those two things at least once before I die, I think I can die a happy man. Let's go. Let's go. Bo Nix, Oregon Trail. Let's go. And I think, as far as Washington, they're not set up for immediate success because Michael Penix Jr. is gone. Rome is gone. McMillan. So a lot of these guys that they built it up for that 1 year, they're going to have to start over. They're still going to have some recruits, but they don't have the same kind of recruiting trail as us, right? And then USC will have better recruits than Washington, but if they recruit only on offense, they're never going to do anything in the Big Ten. They're not going to, if they can't do it with Caleb here, what makes you think they're going to be able to do successful football in the Big Ten if you got no defense? You're going to get your ass kicked. So hopefully that USC gets defense. UCLA and Chip will keep it going as long as they don't fire him, right? And Oregon's got the best chance to step in immediately and be better than Penn State and beat Oregon, Michigan, and Ohio State and be the big three. And then if you want to add Penn State to that mix, fine, that's four. And then maybe one day we'll have USC or Washington to be the fifth. And then you'll have other teams like Wisconsin and Iowa always floating around. So a super conference that's going to be the best sooner than later, it's not going to be the SEC. It's going to be the Big Ten. But the Big Ten has to compete with the SEC with Georgia and Bama, and they're going to have Texas and Oklahoma. So for the time being, the SEC will still reign supreme, but I think the Big Ten will get close because not every year Oklahoma and Texas are going to be good. You assume that they'll be pretty good, top 25, but how often are we going to have Oklahoma, Texas, Alabama, and Georgia in the top 8? It will happen here and there, but also we're going to have an opportunity where we're going to have Oregon, Michigan, and Ohio State in the top 5 or maybe the top 10. So I feel that it's going to be very evenly matched, even though that they're getting Texas and Oklahoma, and then they're getting Washington, UCLA, USC, and Oregon. We just have to make sure that USC and Oregon are up to par with Texas and Oklahoma when they join, obviously, Bama, and they join Georgia. 21-7 Ducks, baby. Big TD before the half. $291 yards, and they haven't gone to their best player on the team. Hello. You got an NFL running back like Steven Jackson on the roster, and you're choosing not to give him the ball. Yes, so you're intimidated about Autzen and the Oregon defense that's ranked top 10. But if you want to win this game, you got to give that guy like 30 carries. You saw what he did against the Huskies, and if you would have handed the ball off twice, you could have beaten them in that matchup. But you decided to go away from your strong piece. And that's the difference between elite teams and teams that are just good. The elite teams know where to go with the football. The good teams sometimes make the mistake and go away from their best player on the team. Big facts. 21-7 Oregon, baby. Big TD. Anything else worth watching right now on college football? Texas 33, Texas Tech 7. That's not worth watching. What else do we got going on here? I'm going to take a quick peek. Any other games? Penn State 28, Michigan State 0. That's shitty. Oklahoma beating the brakes off of TCU. Iowa winning by 3 over Nebraska. And we got Ohio State and Michigan tomorrow. Comment below who you think is going to win tomorrow's matchup, Ohio State or Michigan. I say Michigan. And then the college football playoff will be Georgia, Michigan, Oregon, Ohio State. Because even if Ohio State loses, they shouldn't get knocked off in the 4, in my opinion. But, we'll see. Hopefully they can get back into the playoff mix even after the loss. I mean, unless you want to put an Alabama team in over Ohio State if they keep winning. But we got a lot of SEC championship games, Big Ten, Pac-12. So a lot of things will be decided here in the next couple weeks. All right, let's take a look at the stat line. All right, let's take a quick look at the stat line first for the Oregon Ducks and the favorite for the Heisman besides Jaden Daniels from LSU. Bo Nix, 18 for 22, 190 yards, 8.6 average, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Is that good? I would say it is. And then let's see, Jordan James, 5 carries for 38 yards. Bucky Irving, 8 carries for 35. Bo Nix, 4 carries, 28 yards, and a tutty. So he's got all 3 tutties by himself. Troy Franklin getting into the mix. 4 receptions, 80 yards, a 20-yard average per catch, 1 touchdown. I love it. Tez Johnson, 7 receptions for 61 yards as well. And let's take a look at the defense. Who's our leading tackler? Tysheen Johnson with 4 tackles. Jordan Birch with 3. Dante Manning, Jeffrey Bassa, Mace Funa, Evan Williams, and Kyrie Jackson, the transfer from Bama, all with 2. Let's go. I can't wait for more transfers to come along. All right, let's take a look at the best player that the Beavers have, and let's see how they utilize him. All right, Beavers, you're down 21-7, and you have an Oregon Duck missed field goal by Camden Lewis. You're 8-3. You've only lost 3 games, all by 3 points. Damian Martinez, NFL running back, the next Steven Jackson, 5 carries for 15 yards. That is not going to get you a dub at the end of the day. DJ, 8 for 14, 73 yards, 1 touchdown, and he's got 2 carries for 7 yards. And you really don't have anyone that you can throw to wide receiver-wise. But Silas Bolden, 3 receptions, 30 yards, and he got a tutty. Leading tackler for the defense for the Beavs, Easton Mascarenas Arnold with 8, Calvin Hart Jr. with 8, and Oladipo with 7. And we ain't talking Victor. All right, baby. Beaver fans are like, oh, we got a chance. Oh, 5 carries for 15 yards for Damian? What the fuck is going on? I don't know. I mean, if you want to lose the game, that's what you do. You don't go to your best player. But, hell, as Duck fans, we'll take it. Because we already know that's the biggest threat for the Ducks losing or having the game be closer when Martinez goes off. So, nice. More history for Troy Franklin. Now the U of O career leader in TD receptions, 25. That's awesome. Ooh, Sabrina is there at the game too. Oh, I gotta start liking all these Duck posts on Twitter X. Halftime at Autzen, 21-7, baby. Let's go. Any other photos or anything that you want to see, Matt? I can throw those up. Let me know while we're just waiting for the game to continue. And again, We have a journey, and we have a journey that we're trying to complete. And if you would have told me that we were going to be one of the top 2 teams this year, I probably would have said you're crazy. I mean, going in, I did not think our defense was going to be very good. I figured that we would finish 3rd, 4th, or 5th, depending on if USC's defense was any good. And I knew Utah and Cameron Rising weren't going to be 100% in playing, but I just figured the Beavers were going to be pretty good. The Huskies would probably have the best shot to win the Pac-12. And USC was kind of the wild card depending on what their defense did, and they didn't have one. So their defense was much worse. Ours was much better, and we ended up being one of the top dogs in the country. So pretty sweet. Yeah, Ohio State ain't winning that game. And the game's in Michigan. There's no way you're going to fucking win that game on the road. Not happening. I'll be up early watching it. Yeah, I can't wait for tomorrow morning. That's going to be fun. I'll have to wake up real early. It will be a good one. I mean, I do love Maserati Marv, but they don't have enough of a complete team. Not like they got, a CJ Stroud quarterback in them. Now, if they had CJ Stroud back there, then maybe, that there's be maybe more of a chance, even though they're on the road, but you got the better quarterback, you got the better running back, you might have a better wide receiver in Maserati Marv and Marvin Harrison Jr., but defense is better for Michigan as well. I don't know. I don't know what formula that they're going to be able to put together to win, but you never know. But if I had to put money on it, I would say Michigan's going to win, and they'll be Georgia, Michigan, Oregon, and then whoever the 4th place team, Ohio State or Alabama, that might be what we get. Always one of the best games of the year. Arguably the best rivalry in college football. It's hard to argue with that. Pretty strong. I wish this game wasn't on at 9 a.m. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm in the West Coast, so I'm in Oregon, so it's at 9 a.m. For people in the Midwest, it's 11. East Coast, it's noon. But I wish that they would make this game like prime time, make it at like 5 p.m. so everyone can watch it, not just see the highlights on their phone when they wake up or when they are done with whatever shopping or church or whatever obligations, work or whatever that they have. So. But it's always going to be a slugfest. There's going to be fights. There's going to be punches thrown. They don't fucking like each other, and it ends up making for great fucking TV. Big facts. Oh yeah, absolutely. Gus and Joel, baby. Love me some Gus. Love me some Joel. I mean, they make everything great. I just wish we had more people like that. You got Nance and you got Romo on the NFL side, and then and then you got Gus and Joel. But I think Gus and Joel are even better than Nance and Romo. I think Nance and Romo are good, for the NFL because everyone else sucks, like Aikman and everyone else that they got rolling and doing NFL games. But on the college football side, I mean, I don't know why they don't have Gus do NFL games, honestly. I'll throw an Iowa photo up for you. Over under was 25. That's hilarious. Washington State, Washington. I'll be watching that too. I'll be scouting. Let's go. There you go, Sarah. I mean, I can't wait for that rematch. That's going to be so good. Just like Bama and Georgia going at it in the SEC championship game. Oregon, Washington will be so epic. Guy's a stud, no doubt about it. Our defense is better than theirs, though, and it's not going to be in Seattle. It's not going to be in Autzen. It really comes down to where's the game being played, and if it's on neutral turf, I think Oregon has the advantage. I think most people would agree with that. Plus, we need payback. We lost last year. We lost this year. We need payback. But I love me some Michael Penix Jr. He is awesome. He's probably got the best chance to pan out out of any quarterback that's going into the draft. Drake May looks pretty good. I'm not sure about Caleb. I got a lot of question marks with his completion percentage. If he'll be able to pan out. He's got the athleticism. I don't know if I see Patrick Mahomes 2.0. I mean, it depends on the team that he goes to and how hard he is willing to work. But hopefully we end up having 4 or 5 guys in this draft class that pan out, or at least end up not being a bust. In fact. All right, second half coming up just in a few moments, baby. And I love lefties, so it'll be like I think he has a chance to be better than Tua also. If we get a Tua, a left-handed player in the NFC, or like a Caleb Williams in the NFC as well. So I'm not sure if they're going to be, Patrick Mahomes 2.0, Tua 2.0. We'll see what happens, but it's definitely going to make the NFC better, and it's going to be more exciting. I mean, hell, you might get Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr., and Caleb Williams all in the NFC. Very high probability of that. And we know not everyone's going to pan out, but hopefully we get at least 1 or 2. Big fact. I might be a Duck fan, but I got mad love for Michael Penix Jr. The guy is awesome. We're getting ready to get into the second half now. Well, they're not even giving him that many opportunities. It's not like Damian Martinez has got 15 or 20 carries in the first half. He's got 5. They haven't even used him. So again, if you don't know that that's your best player on your team, and yes, I know you're on the road and it's not as comfortable as being in the rain in front of your own fans in Corvallis. If you're willing to run the football with Damian Martinez all year, why would you stop now? You know what I mean? Especially if you can beat the Ducks and derail our season. You would want to go to your best option. And yeah, our defense is top 10, but it's not like so intimidating like you're playing against Georgia. Or I mean, maybe to them it is, but I would assume that they would be able to. I would have given Damian Martinez at least 15 carries in the first half, 15 in the second half. And I know that's a lot, but again, they don't really have wide receivers to throw to or tight ends. And it's either DJU running an RPO and running it himself. He can't really throw. He doesn't have people that are really that reliable. He doesn't have Troy Franklin's on the team. So you might as well go to either Damian Martinez in the flat, set him up for counters and, halfback tosses, halfback dives, whatever you need to do, have guys pull. But just a simple fact, 5 carries for 15 yards, you're asking to lose. You have to give your star player an opportunity to break tackles to get into that second and third level to the linebackers and the corners and safeties. And he's so strong that if he gets loose into the second level, he might be gone. And then that could be an easy touchdown. Boom, 21-14. So we'll see. I don't want to give them, the game plan on how to come back and beat us, but I know if I was coaching Oregon State, I would be yelling at everyone in the locker room, and I'd be like, "What are we doing?" You gave your best player 5 carries. He had 4 touchdowns in the first half 2 games ago. What are you doing? I mean, I can't complain. Honestly, I would be pissed right now if Damian, Martinez had 15 carries for 100 yards and 2 or 3 touchdowns. So I guess I can't bitch and moan and complain, but I know that they are definitely dropping the ball by not giving their best player enough chances. If you give him 15 carries and he's got 20 yards, then you did your job. You tried. The Duck defense stepped up. But what are the chances of him getting 15 carries for 20 or 25 yards? Chances are he'd probably have 15 carries for at least 50, maybe even more. So he's got touchdown ability almost on every play that he gets. So he's like a Bucky Irving, except he's a different type of back. He's kind of a hybrid between Jonathan Stewart and Steven Jackson. I would say put those 2 guys together. That's what you get with Damian Martinez. So get him the damn ball. He's an NFL running back. 22 rushing yards? Fucking my God. 7 with fucking DJU and then 15 with Damian Martinez. Come on, Beavers, do your job. You got an NFL player there. I mean, what would Steven Jackson say if you gave him 5 carries for 15 yards? Huh? Come on now. Come on, Beavs. Make it more competitive. Be smart here. Let's go, baby. Go Ducks. Bo Nix. Regardless if he wins the Heisman or not, I mean, it might be better that he doesn't win. Because if you win the Heisman, you typically are cursed and you have a lot of pressure, right? So fuck it. If they want to give it to Jaden Daniels by playing shitty-ass teams like Georgia State and putting up 500-600 yards and 8 or 9 or 10 touchdowns, fine. As long as we can end up winning the Pac-12 championship and go to the Natty and possibly win, that's all we want. I mean, obviously individual accomplishments would be great, but I don't want Bo Nix to get the Heisman and then him to be a shitty NFL player. I would rather him give up the Heisman. We go further, get a team accomplishment, win the championship if we could, or at least get to the Natty. And then if Bo doesn't get the Heisman and ends up having a good NFL career or an above average career, I think that's what Duck fans want. We don't want him to get the Heisman and then turn into Mariota. We want someone that actually doesn't get hurt, that could actually be better than just average. Because obviously Mariota's career and Jameis Winston's career didn't really pan out. Neither did Carson Wentz. Just because you get drafted 1 or 2 overall does not mean you're going to pan out. Hell, look at Josh Allen. He went from being Booty-O's, he got Diggs, then he ended up being one of the top 3 quarterbacks, and then now, he's an interception machine. Still a good player, but he ain't top 3 anymore. All right, let's go, Ducks. Let's go. I mean, they ain't beating up Damian Martinez. They're just not, 5 chances in a whole half? And that guy's an NFL player. Name another player that's NFL on Oregon State. Maybe DJU, but I got no confidence in him being a good NFL player. Like, I think that he might be able to make it, but I don't think he's really going to do anything. Maybe a backup and he has to work his way up, but Damian Martinez could legit be like a star, and I normally wouldn't say that unless I really believed it. Big facts. Let's go. 10 attempts for 25 yards today. Is that good? They had 5 touchdowns on us last year, and they beat us last year, but not this year, baby. And we missed a field goal, so we fucked up. And Camden Lewis can't kick worth a shit, but at least we're up 14. Big touchdown with 45 seconds left in the first half on that drive to Troy Franklin, baby. DJU, pressure coming. Ooh, nice catch. First down, Beavers. That was a hell of a play action. That was awesome. Gold, baby. Great boot. Great boot. All right, Beavers with the football. First down and 10, 21-7 Ducks. Civil War. Let's go. Little end around with a blocker. All right, no late hit, Ducks. Be smart. Be disciplined. Do it for Spence. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, share. Mods, let's go. Halfway to the goal. Second down and 8. Shotgun set. Trips left for DJU. Delay a game. Let's go, baby. Shout out to everyone on Twitter X watching the broadcast along, as well as the people that are on YouTube watching as well. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. DJ steps up in the pocket. Great pass. First down, Beavers. Move the chains, but there is a flag on the play. Is it a hold? First down. Where are we at on the likes? We got to make sure we're getting to 20 to 30 likes on the stream, preferably 40, but it all depends on how many people that we have that are watching. Make sure we're getting all those stats up. Nice catch. First down, Beavers. Move the chains. Got to get things going. When you see the amount of people that are in the room, you got to take advantage while you see those people that are in the room. We can't just be silent. Now we got to make sure that we're active in the chat. We're taking advantage of every opportunity that we have to be able to get a new dono, to get a new sub, a new viewer. Second down and 7. 21-7 Ducks. Let's go. That's way too low. We should have already been at 20 already. DJ, hands off. Good tackle. Oh, ball's loose. I need to see a replay. What do we think? Do we think that's a fumble? This is their NFL running back right here, Damian Martinez. I would say that the Beavers retain the football there. I don't think that they can give the Ducks the football after that. So, and we got to make sure because, like I said, everything is all through the algorithm, and like we have to make sure we should have been better about that. Or, if we have another mod that handles that responsibility, like normally when Elliot comes in the room, but we got to make sure the shares on the Twitter and the X and making sure that we're getting the likes at that 20 number on every stream if it's possible. With the amount of people that we have, we got to make sure that we're hitting all those algorithms, because the more of the algorithms we hit, the better that we're going to do, and the more of an opportunity that it gets shared, to more people on YouTube, to be able to come through, to be able to possibly like, sub, donate, share, and all the other stats that we need moving forward. So, I mean, we've already done over 2,000 videos since 2017, which is essentially me working every day for 6 years straight. And we're almost at that 4 million view mark. We're already at 20,100 and some change in the subs. So we're getting closer to be able to get, let me see how many subs we need to get to 20,200. We need 37. So we're 37 away. Yeah, I don't think you can give the ball up at that situation. Let's go, Spence. We're going to win it for you, bud. All right, come on, baby. 4th and 2. Martinez off the field. Get him! Yeah! Let's go, baby. Incomplete forward pass. We'll take it. First down, Ducks. And then once we get another touchdown, this one's out of reach. I mean, it already is kind of getting out of reach, but one more touchdown will get it out of reach, baby. Let's go. I mean, anybody can see that it's going to be Washington and Oregon, but the real question is can Oregon beat Washington in the Pac-12 championship? That's the first hurdle. And if we can do that, then Michigan, and then we do that, then Georgia, and then champions. But we don't know if we're going to be able to get to that point, but I'm hoping so. Let's go, Bo. Let's go, Bo. There we go. First down, Oregon. Move the chains. Yes, sir. We're getting into a rhythm now. Always, man. Always. Bo, nice catch. And we can start running the football to start bleeding the clock at some point as well. But I mean, we still want to give the fans what they want. We're going to keep that high tempo offense, and we want to make sure that we'll sprinkle in runs with Bucky and obviously with James, but we're trying to win for Spence, the Spider. Let's go, Bo. 2nd down and 2. Shotgun set. Handoff. James. But this is our 3rd string running back, not our 2nd string. Noah Whittington, who's out for the year. So thank God we have a good running back room where we're 3 deep. But we got the best center in college football and Jackson Powers, NFL. Bo Nix, NFL. Troy Franklin, NFL. Bucky Irving, NFL. That's pretty impressive. We haven't really had pieces like that to play up to this potential and this level in a minute. So it feels good. And this team is much better than the Mariota Heisman-led team that went to the Natty and lost to Ohio State. Much better, especially on defense. Let's go! Let's go! First down, Ducks! Yes, sir. We're about to score again, baby. Let's go. Knocking on the door on the 10. First and goal. Screen pass. Good defense. Let's go. Get those likes up. It's the least that we can have, if we're not going to be able to have heavy hitters, that are going to come through to get us to the goal. We need to make sure that at least we're hitting the other algorithm points to make the stream successful. And then hopefully we'll get some goats to come through at some point before the game ends and help us get us to the goal. Second and goal. Go, Bo. Oh, he got smacked. Come on, Bo. He's open. Incomplete. And we're almost at 700 views already, so we're pacing over 1,000. $25 field goal attempt is good. 24-7 Oregon. Let's go. Elliot in the building. What's good, brother? How are you? Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Well, I guess we will have a field goal kicker come out once in a while. There we go, Cam. And field goal's up, and it's good. You busy? Nice. You have a good Thanksgiving? Got to spend it with the fam? What did you eat? You didn't eat pepperoni pizza for Thanksgiving, did you? Let's go, baby. You had a bunch of turkey? Nice. Yeah, we almost had the full crew, at the house, except my stepsister's husband. His dad died recently, so he's a Packer fan, so he wasn't really, probably feeling the whole festivities and whatnot, and he's not been in a good headspace. But at least the Packers won for him, so at least he got that dub over the Lions and whatnot. But overall, turkey was great, ham was great, mashed potatoes and gravy were great, rolls were great. Vegetables were great. Everything was just fantastic, man. Like it might have been one of the best. I mean, usually when I go and have the meal, it's a 10 out of 10. But yesterday it was probably an 11. The turkey and the ham were maybe a little bit more on point than even normal, which is normally like perfect, but right out of the oven, it's fantastic. And then I ended up getting 3 plates. So normally I'll get Tupperware and I'll take it home. But I was like, well, I don't have a whole lot of room in the fridge, so maybe I'll just do plates. So I'll do turkey, ham, mashed potatoes, gravy, stuffing, Make one plate, put the tin foil, make another plate, put tin foil, another plate, tin foil. So that way I can at least have 3 meals out of it. Since I didn't go crazy, I had two plates and 2 pieces of pie, and then I called it quits until later that night. And I'm down to my last 2 pieces of pie, and I got 1 plate left after this stream is over, and then it's all gone. So, and then I'll get back to being, doing the steamed vegetables and eating healthy and whatnot. So, the skin of the turkey, so that's most underrated. You like it like when you get the skin off the chicken when you go to like KFC or Popeyes or you go to a chicken spot. 24/7 Oregon. Let's go, baby. Yeah, Elliot, if you can help me out on the Twitter X and like and share it and help us get the likes up. I don't know how long you're going to be in here for, but if you're going to be here for a minute, that would be cool. If not, then you got to go. You got to go. But anything you can do to help would be appreciated. Every little thing counts. And we've only had one dono so far, which is a little alarming, but at least it was for 50, so at least we're halfway to the goal. Nice job, Taki. Let's go, baby. Second down and 9. DJ under center, hands off. Where you going? Martinez getting stuffed at the line. Not a whole lot of room. They have to be more creative with their play calling. It can't be a fucking halfback dive with Martinez every single time. You have to be able to, be creative and use them in space. It just can't be up the gut every single time. Third down and 6. Go Ducks. Shotgun set. DJ pressured. Let's go, baby. One game at a time. Beat the Beavers, beat the Huskies, play Michigan, play Georgia. That's the path that it's going to go. Beat the Beavers, beat the Huskies, Pac-12 championship, beat Michigan, beat Georgia, or at least try to get there. I mean, Damian Martinez is an NFL running back, and they're making him look like a fucking scrub. I mean, that definitely says something. And look how Oregon State played against Washington. They almost beat them. They went, down to the wire. Yes, it was in Corvallis. Yes, there was some rain, but it just feels like the Ducks are on another level, even above Washington right now. Let's go, baby. Thank you, Elliot. I appreciate you, my brother. Go, Bo. Soaking this in, man. Like, I don't want this to end. And hopefully we can have a transfer come in and when we join the Big Ten, because the team is not going to look the same, but we definitely. I mean, especially if we end up, making the playoff, or by a miracle, if we ended up playing Michigan and playing Georgia, and we actually did the unthinkable and won the Natty. Think about how many recruits would flip and come to Oregon with Dan Lanning. Defensive guys, Georgia guys, Bama guys, Michigan guys, Ohio State guys. Guys that would normally would have maybe wanted to go to USC or another part of the country in Texas or Oklahoma. It would be very, very crazy. Like one championship for Oregon would definitely take us to heights that we've never seen before. And if we won the championship this year, there would be a pretty good probability that we could probably win another one within 10 years after winning this year if we were able to win it this year. Like it's all about, climbing the mountain, and being able to get to the very top of the mountaintop and then letting those recruits come in and then getting better quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, defensive players. And then eventually it just starts coming in naturally every single year like it did for Georgia and Alabama. So all you have to do is believe, baby. Historic Duck. Most touchdowns, baby. Fire, fire, fire. You sent me a post. I like it. Fire, fire, fire. And shout out to Elliot and Sarah and Cyberpunk. And then Matt, if you can like and retweet my stream on Twitter X, then that'll help too, even if you don't have a whole lot of people. Just the simple fact, algorithm, 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 baby. "24/7 Ducks." Beaver fans hella quiet. First down, Ducks. Defenses have done a pretty good job for Bucky Irving and Damian Martinez limiting their production on the ground. Pretty stout defense for both. We're getting closer. We got to hit hopefully a couple subs that we can get from the stream, and then hopefully we can get 20 or more on any stream that we know that's going to be a little bit higher than normal. We got to make sure we're hitting that 20 to 30 number if we have enough bodies in the room that are watching throughout the stream to do it. I mean, especially if we have over 1,000 people or 1,000 to 3,000, there's no excuse not to have 20 likes if we have 1,000 to 3,000. Lattimore or Michael Thomas. How long is Lattimore out for? Michael Thomas is out for the year. What about Lattimore? How long is Lattimore out for? Well, the Lions lost and the Seahawks lost, right? So that obviously the Cowboys won, and then you still got the Vikings and the Saints in the mix. So I would assume the Vikings will win, this weekend or on Monday. But we'll see what your Saints can do. If you can stay afloat, you're going to win the NFC South. But the real question is can the Saints win a playoff game? And I guess it just depends on who they play. If they play the Hawks and the Lions and their defense doesn't look good, the Saints and the Vikings and Cowboys could beat those teams. But if the defenses slowly get better with the Seahawks and Lions, then they'll be able to win. But there's a big question mark because now the Seahawks, the Lions, the Cowboys, the Saints, and the Vikings are all even. There's not, because of those other teams have issues. They're not 100% with Kenneth Walker III, and then the Lions defense fucking disappeared. So now it's definitely Eagles and Niners and just everyone else, the other 6 teams, And then I think it's the Chiefs and the Dolphins at the top, and then the Ravens and the Jags. And I do think the Dolphins are the biggest threat to the Chiefs, and I wouldn't be shocked if they make the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship game. Like, unless the Chiefs' offense improves dramatically, I don't know if they can even make it to the AFC Championship game. Like I said, they may play in like the semis, like when they're getting further along, And if they match up against Miami before the AFC Championship game, there's a chance that they could lose. Like it's not just a 100% guaranteed thing. We already know Niners and Eagles are the best as long as they don't have injuries. But the Niners had injuries. They lost 3 straight. The guys are healthy now. Now they're dominating. And they got Chase Young. Like, not even fair. Little screen. Go, baby, go. Oh, big hit. That's a flag. How is that not a flag? He like whips him around. Golly. Around the neck, though. Jesus Christ. Boo. Boo. Don't injure our guy. Bitch ass ninja. Fucking bitch ass ninja trying to injure our guy. Fuck that. Legal Schmiegel. Jason Siegel. It was up by his head. All right, we're almost getting closer to 1,000. 820. 180 to go to hit a K as far as the stream. Yeah, so Elliot, we ended up breaking over 2,000 live streams, since 2017. So if I recorded every day for 6 years straight, it's 2,190, and we hit 2,000. We're at 2,001. So I literally streamed every day for 6 years straight, and I only missed 189 days, streams, particular on those days out of 6 years. I would say that's pretty good. 2,000 out of 2,189. It's a lot of fucking streams, a lot of fucking content. And that's just from 2017, not from like 2011 or 2012. It's a lot of fucking work. I mean, streaming every day for 6 months? No. Every day for 6 years? Fuck. Hopefully we get the right people to be able to support us and bankroll us, because I'd like to see other people that work that hard. Bucky Irving is stuffed. And then we're getting closer to 4 million views. We're at almost 3.9 million. So once we get to that 4 million mark, we'll probably do some kind of giveaway. But I mean, you have to have people show up to do a giveaway. You have to have donos to give a giveaway, Kind of goes hand in hand, like peanut butter and jelly, Total yards, 405 for Oregon. Oregon State, 164. 405 is like our support from last year. Oregon State stat number is like the support that we get this year. We need a fucking drastic change. I don't know what we need to do, but things need to fucking change. 3rd down and 2. Next, wide open. There we go. There we go. Hey, here we go. First down, Ducks. Well, some videos, we're getting good views and others are not as much. So it's going to take a while, unless we start, hitting big numbers on certain things or whatever. But it's like I said, I keep having to have the conversation with some of the like other mods. It's like, even if you can't donate, show up, at least like stop by, and like I said, I don't want to be a broken record, but fucking A, man, that's like, if you care about this channel and you care about me fucking entertaining and doing this full time, you just can't show up whenever the fuck you feel like it if you're a mod. It doesn't work. Otherwise, I'm not going to have you be a mod. I'm going to cut you off. You know what I mean? I need to have people that want to be here, that want to support and want to see us win, not to show up whenever the fuck they want. I mean, it doesn't work like that. Changes need to be made, man. Lots of disappointment. I mean, disappointment is a very soft word that I use. The real word I want to use, I can't use it on the stream, but I've been very disappointed this year. Like, there's disappointment, and then there's disappointment like times 100 or 1,000, and that's where we're at. Not happy, but I have to keep grinding. I mean, that's not too much to ask, you know. Like I said, if it's just some like rando that comes in, I can give fuck two fucks. You know, it's like if you're a rando, you show up, you don't show up, I don't give a fuck. You know, but if I've entrusted you to be like a mod, or you know, you've donated big, or you've been here all the time, I mean, the least you can do is at least like show up, you know, and say what's up, say hello to all the other people, you know, and I gotta go. All right, cool. But if you're not even willing to do that, or even to like the posts, or to share them, or to show up, I mean, you're losing trust in me. You know what I mean? Like there's some people that are on my bad side that I don't know if they'll ever recover from what they've done. So, and like at the end of the day, you know, we want to be able to win. You know, we want to be able to keep growing, but the effort collectively has been fucking terrible. It has not been good. Yeah, well, you should have already been doing that. I mean, just saying, you know. I mean, I didn't make you a mod just to make, you know, just to be like, oh, here, I'm going to make you a mod. You know, there's a responsibility, you know, for every YouTube channel that has mods or any Twitch channel. People aren't going to make someone a mod just because they're friends with them. Like, oh, here, let me just make you a fucking mod. Like that shit has to be earned, you know. And then obviously it has to be able to be earned to be able to keep that position, you know, because I've had to go through different mods and had to eliminate some just because I can't count on them. So if you're not fully invested, then you know people can let me know, and I'll find people that are. That's really what it comes down to. I need people that are going to be invested in this journey. All right, let's go to the fourth quarter, baby. 24-7 Oregon. Well, you won last year, and you already know that you're not winning this year. You already know that you're not on the same level as the Ducks this year, and it's just inevitable. It's just a matter of time. First down and 10. Shotgun set. Bo. There we go. Almost for Ferguson. Fergie down to the one. We're about to score again. For real though, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, especially when they know that if things haven't been the same as 2022 with some of the heavy hitters that are either no longer with us and that have passed away or people that have lost their jobs. So if you know that, right, that you know, we need support more than ever, and then you still choose not to, you know, at least do the bare minimum and like show up or like posts, you know, and you know what I'm saying? Like you know, some people are super big and it doesn't matter who the fuck shows up or who doesn't. They have plenty of people, you know, but when you're in the position of trying to blow up, you need the as much support as you can get. And it's just like when you go on social media, you know, and you go through a post, a lot of times people will look at something, they might even watch a video once or twice, and then they'll be like, fuck that guy. And then they just don't even give the like or the retweet or the thumbs up. They just say, fuck that. And then they just keep going. Like, why do people do that? You know, it's a thing that people do all the time, you know, where it's like you can still go back and like something, read something, watch a video multiple times. You know you like it, you know you love it, but then you're still a hater and you keep going and you keep scrolling. Everyone does it, and it's fucked up. You know what I mean? But there are people that have done a piss poor job, and I'm probably going to have to go into the you know the mods and fucking eliminate quite a few of them. So I'm going to have to make some changes and whatnot. So touchdown, Ducks, baby. Let's go. I mean, especially, we're not at 20 subs. We're not at 200. We're not at 2,000. We're over 20,000, but the way I get treated, I feel like I'm at like 200 a lot of times. I feel that's bullshit for the amount of work that I put in and the entertainment that I provide, I mean, I sold a Jordan rookie card worth $20,000 to $30,000. It's going to be worth over 100K. Do you think that I did that for results like this? Like throughout this year? Fuck no. Touchdown, Oregon. But it definitely shows me who is loyal and who's true and who's fake and who's not about, the channel or me. So, it's one thing to donate to be able to be popular or to be able to try to make a name for yourself on YouTube, but we need people that are real and people that are going to fucking show up. Because, I mean, if we can't get the regulars or the mods to show up on a regular basis for a few of them, what's going to make someone new to the channel want to be able to come back and show up and donate and like and comment? If the mods and the heavy hitters aren't doing it, why the fuck is someone else going to do it? We have to ask ourselves these questions. Nice job, Ducks. 31-7, a nice ass whooping for the Beavers. I love it. Especially after the payback from, the loss that we had last year. The real test begins against Washington, and then if we get past them, Michigan and Georgia. That's when the season starts over. And I knew things might be a little bit challenging going into the beginning of the year, compared to last year. But I had no idea that it would be the way that it is this year compared to what we experienced last year. Nice tackle by the Ducks. Yeah, but it also kind of makes me regret, doing certain things for certain people, because if I would have known that certain people wouldn't be showing up or certain people wouldn't be supporting, I wouldn't have, bought them certain gifts, knowing that they were just going to drop off, Very, very disappointed. But you got to be able to find the right people, Got to find the right people to be able to bankroll the channel and support the channel and move it forward. Eliminate the fugazis and the fakes and get the people that are wanting to be able to have something special happen. Play action fake. DJ. Almost picked. What happened to my hands? Second down and 10. Shotgun set. Nice throw for DJ. Three games by 8 points. Shotgun set. Wide open. First down, Beavers. Move the chains. Go Williams. Big ass club on his arm. Shotgun set. DJ with the keeper. It is ass. First down, Beavers. The hype for Arch has kind of died down a little bit, but depending on if he transfers and goes to another school, I mean, if he comes to Oregon, yeah, yes, please. I would love that. Shit, and if that happens, you might see Peyton or Eli on the sideline. Intercepted! Let's go. Let's go. Beaver fans thinking they were actually going to win this game. Silly Beaver fans. You knew you weren't going to win this game, or unless you just didn't watch the Ducks all year. You're delusional. You can definitely tell the people that have watched games all year and the people that haven't been paying attention at all. And they're just like hopping on the rivalry bandwagon. Let me put on my shirt that I wear once a year and talk some shit on social media and Facebook. Okay. You can talk all the shit that you want, but if you haven't been watching games, yeah, you see the record is good, but there's a difference between the Huskies and the Ducks and everyone else in the Pac-12. Big fact. Yeah. Mariota, baby. I mean, I don't mind, you know, if it goes to, I would rather have it go to Michael Penix Jr. rather than Jaden Daniels. But, you know, again, you got to be able to put up stats against good teams, not put up, you know, 500-600 yards and 8 or 10 touchdowns against shitty teams. That's not what a Heisman is about. You have to be able to do it against good competition also, not just shitty teams. So, you know, it should go to Bo or it should go to Michael Penix Jr. But again, whoever gets it, I don't want the curse to be attached to that player. So if it goes to Jaden Daniels and he ends up sucking ass in the NFL, so be it. But maybe he would have sucked in the NFL anyways. So I just want to make sure if we get it in the Pac-12 with Nix or with Penix Jr., I want both of those guys to pan out. I don't want a Marcus Mariota situation again or Jameis Winston. You know, if they want Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston to be Jaden Daniels, give him the fucking award. If they want to reward players for beating up shitty teams and putting up crazy stat lines, then, you know, fine. Beaver fans real quiet, like Seahawk fans. Like when you get punched in the mouth, I mean, it's tough. You got, you know, but sometimes there's a bigger dog that's in the room. You either know or you don't. Plus, most Beaver fans don't know that we're top 10 on O and D and have a top 2 line in the country with Georgia. You know, it's just, you know, oh, let's talk some shit. So, and that'll only get you so far when you look up at the scoreboard and you're down fucking 31-7. There's no shit that you can talk. You're getting your ass kicked. So, Jackson Powers Johnson, best center in the country. I would love for Tampa to grab someone like that. I don't know where he'll end up going. I'm not sure if Seahawks will have interest in him, but that would be a good Seahawk. You know, someone local and close. I like him though. It's like we've never had this before. Like one of the top lines in the country, top 10 defense. So I guess this is what happens when Oregon has top things, right? With Dan Lanning, we start doing amazing. Like this is what it's like to be like Georgia or like Michigan or Ohio State. Like it feels good. Go, Bucky. And then imagine if Noah Whittington never got hurt, Matt. That's another guy that would have been raking more touchdowns for us. Beaver fans on Facebook, real quiet right now. Real quiet. I mean, what did you expect? Good tackle. We're more than good. We've been good in the past. We are great. I mean, we've had one slip up by just a brain fart by trying to go for it twice, and we would have been undefeated. And like a true undefeated team, not like a Florida State fake Fugazi undefeated team playing against a bunch of dog shit competition. This has been the best the Pac-12 has ever been as a conference from beginning to to top to bottom. So, I mean, this team could win an Natty like that. You know, that's more than good. That's great. That's elite. Like, there's only a few teams that could win an Natty, in my opinion. Georgia, right? Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon. I'm not sure if Alabama is good enough to win the Natty this year, and I don't even think Ohio State's good enough to win the Natty this year. I think Georgia, Oregon, Michigan. It feels like those are the cream of the crop. But if Ohio State can get the dub against Michigan, which they won't, then we'll put them in that category too. But we'll find out how good Michigan really is. And we'll see if Ohio State can get the win on the road, but I highly doubt it. They had a better quarterback. If CJ Stroud was there, then I would have maybe a little bit of belief. Or hell, even if they had Justin Fields there, maybe I would feel a little bit better. But the quarterback that they have is probably the shittiest quarterback they've had in 10 years. So still makes plays, but I don't think he's that good. $31-7 Ducks, baby. Now I'll take Paisley on a long, long walk, but it'll always be nice because I love it. I actually like walking at night, probably the best because there's nobody there. It's just me and Paisley, and that's it. So I can extend the leash and we can go, and there's no one out there at all, just us. It's great. I appreciate you, but I don't think you've seen everyone being in here since last year. It's been a minute. And I'm going to have to go through and eliminate mod status from maybe half of the people. So I'm going to have to go in there and I'm going to have to look at all the mods that we have and eliminate a few. I'm not going to give you mod status if you're not even supporting or showing up. Like, what's the point of that? I need people that actually want to be here, that actually are supporting me. We'll see who makes the cut. But for everybody in the room, I mean, the main ones, you guys have nothing to worry about. It's just all the others. As we gain some subs out of it, 20,166. And I'm always going to keep it 100, I'm always going to keep it real. I'm always going to keep it 100. But, anyone that knows me, like I'm very passionate on what I do, how much hard work that I put in, and if things are going good, people are going to know. If things are not going good, people are going to know. I mean, it's just ridiculous to work as hard as I work, and everyone takes for me. It's about time where people start giving, and starting to show that love and supporting instead of taking from me all the time. With all the streams and all the reaction videos and all the fucking content, taking me for granted. First down and 10. Would love to be able to end this game off with a fumble for a touchdown or a pick six. That would be sweet. Not saying that it's going to happen here because it seems like, a little too late for Damian Martinez. You got a fucking Steven Jackson type of running back, and you haven't really been able to get him going. Johnson's down with an injury. Yeah. And it's one of those things, like when we have regulars and we have goats, right? Then more people donate and then others donate and they donate on a higher level. But when you're not getting that consistency, then even people that are regular donators don't donate as much or a higher dollar amount. This is 100% true. Everyone feeds off everyone else's emotions and decisions. And when the decisions are good, then other people feed off that. And then the dollar amount usually will be higher and there's more. But when people aren't, even for the people that are donating and doing, the donations, they're not doing as big of a number as they were maybe doing last year, right? I mean, that's 100% truth. I notice every stat and every analytical category on every single thing that I'm doing. You know what I mean? It's not like someone can lie to me and be like, "Oh, no, I'm doing this." I see everything, on what's going on. But like I said, everything is a snowball effect. When one person does it, then other people, follow suit. But if you don't have leaders that are going to step up to set the standard, then this is what you get in 2023. A lot of inconsistency and a lot of disappointment. I mean, unless people want me to be homeless and to quit the channel. I mean, I guess if that's what people want, they don't want me to stream anymore. They don't want to be able to watch my streams and help them through tough times. And they want me just to be able to hang it up, you know, retire, not do it anymore. 31-7 Oregon. Get in, baby. It's 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Let's go. Edge blitz on both sides. Give me that sack. Yum, 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 yum. Third down and 17. Get him. Almost picked. All right, I made the adjustments. Had to cut down on about 6 or 7. So we got I think 10. Some people had multiple accounts and whatnot, but I mean that should have already been done probably 6 months ago. But Paisley, Dad's almost done. John in the building. What's good? They're down in 6. Ducks in firm control. Shotgun set. Little dump down. Ooh, what a shifty move. Good tackle. Fourth down and 3. Taz wanted to go for it on 4th down. Are we punting? Now we feel sorry for the Beavers, and we're trying to give them one more opportunity to get 14 before the game is over. Is that what we're doing? Like, remember, they beat us last year, so no holds barred, no tears shed, you know. Delay a game on Oregon. Give us more space to punt. All right, 4th down and 8. Come on, baby. Looking forward to this one tomorrow. Don't like it that it's on at 9 a.m. But I mean, they've done that ever since I was a little kid, so they're not going to change it anytime soon. I do hope Michigan wins, but I hope Maserati Marv goes off for like 100, 150, and like 3 touchdowns or something. But who knows if he'll even be able to get that on Michigan? Probably not. But hopefully he gets in the end zone at least once or twice, and he ends up being the star for Ohio State. But Michigan and Blake Corum plays well. McCarthy plays well. We'll see how it goes. Nice job, Troy. Win it for Spence. Spider web. Mizzou with the win. Go Ducks. Little slant. Gain of about 8 or 9 right there. Ducks punted to give them one last chance to be able to, get a touchdown for maybe their seniors. last time on the field. Got your ass kicked by 24. Let's see if you can get one more touchdown before the game is over. But also, it gives the Ducks an opportunity to get a pick six before the game's over as well, or a big interception. So we'll see. Kellen Moore's younger brother from Missouri. Play action fake and complete. Now, if Oregon State had like TJ Houshmandzadeh or Chad Ochocinco, Chad Johnson kind of talent, then yeah, then they're going to be similar to like what Oregon's doing. But you got to have that type of recruiting. And obviously, when you're the Beavers, you're not going to be able to recruit like that right away. It takes time to be able to build that up. But I'll tell you what, I really am proud that the Beavers ended up being the third best team over USC, over Utah, over everybody else. Colorado, it's pretty cool that the top three, two of them are from Oregon. Pretty awesome. And you can definitely see the gap between the Huskies and the Ducks and then the third place team. Just like normally you would see a gap between Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State. Like, Penn State's pretty good, like a top 25 team, but if you play the top two, you're probably going to get your ass kicked, and that's what typically happens. Every once in a while there's an upset, but not often. Good tackle. First down, Beavers. Put the Beaver logo up for them. Can't wait, baby. Huskies, Ducks. Pac-12 championship. Lit. Get a bossa. You want gagalagale. You want gagalagale. Yeah. Vasa, that was a huge commitment to go from offense to defense and actually be one of our top defensive players on the defense overall. Huge. But sometimes you need guys that have that leadership to recognize that, maybe I should do a position change. There's plenty of receivers. Maybe I need to switch to safety or linebacker and gain some weight. And thank God Vasa did that because we need him. I mean, we're playing on defense right now, and that's the thing about Dan Lanning and the coaching staff. They never let up. Like, I haven't seen what it's like to have a top 10 defense ever, and I remember talking about it and dreaming about it, hoping that one day we would have a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense, but I honestly didn't know if it would ever happen. But when we got Dan Lanning, I thought maybe, but I thought, well, how long will it take? 4 or 5 years? So, and then just imagine if we start getting some transfers on the defensive side of the ball, and like good ones. Like, that could be huge. Like a Bo Nix impact at quarterback, but like a linebacker or like a D tackle or D end. And we're recruiting like I've never seen before. So, and especially on the defensive side of the ball. And I would rather the Ducks be a defensive team than an offensive team. Like, we're always a top 10, offensive team, but never defense. And I guess if this is what we get when we get a top 10 in both, and a top 2 O-line, shit, okay. Yes, please. Give me more of this. Let's go, baby. And there it is. The Oregon Ducks final score 31-7. But let me see the last 30 seconds here. And the Beavers almost beat the Huskies. Like, yes, I know it was in Corvallis and it was raining, right? But it shows you, game plan can change so much from week to week. And I knew this was going to be a blowout. And like I said, one team is going to the college football playoff. The other one maybe isn't, so they're going to go to a really good bowl game, whoever that is. But there's only going to be one team, either the Ducks or the Huskies, that are going to be able to move on. Unless the Huskies, if they lost, they would still be able to go, over like Ohio State with that last spot, because it'll come down to like 3 teams probably at the very end. Like, Ohio State, if they lose to Michigan, Bama, if they keep winning, depending on if they win or lose to Georgia, Washington, if they lose to Oregon. Like, there's going to be a clusterfuck of like 3 teams that could be the number 4 team, the last team, with Georgia, Michigan, and Oregon. But who's going to be that 4th team? That's going to be a very good question. I mean, if Dan can play like this and he doesn't have too many brain farts, and we get a better kicker, and then I don't get mad when they go for it for 2, and then they not go for a field goal, and they decide to go for a touchdown, and we don't get it. As long as we can end up getting the light at the end of the tunnel, maybe Dan will be a guy where I'll have that feeling like Mario Cristobal, before he went to Miami. But I don't know if I'll ever feel that Dan Lanning is Chip Kelly. But if we end up getting a natty, you best believe I definitely would change my tune. Nice job, Dan. I'll put up a Dan Lanning photo before we go. This is the difference between, being a good team, a top 25 team, or being elite and championship natty contender. There's a difference. There's a pecking order. God is good, Bo. We love you. 33 for 40. He's kind of good. 367 yards, 3 total TDs. He could have probably had more. All you have to do is believe. And shout out to Spencer Spiderweb. He's smiling down from heaven. All right. We love you. We appreciate you. Nice job, Troy. You the man. All right. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Again, we're going to do the WWE pay-per-view tomorrow, which will be, I believe, at 5 o'clock. I'll let everyone know if we do anything prior to that. If we do another stream, but I'll probably spend time with Paisley, get my quality time in, do some reading, watch Michigan, Ohio State, probably watch Washington and Washington State go at it. We'll do the WWE pay-per-view to cap off the night, and that'll be amazing. And then we'll do Sunday Night Football, and I'll do some reaction videos as well. So I appreciate everyone in the room that came in and donated, commented, shared. Odin Son, you're the real MVP. And for all the people in the room that commented, shared, supported, got the likes up, I love you, and I appreciate you as well. And hopefully we get better results as we move forward. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Go Ducks. Gang.